Bella's got power, Florabella stands tall. Every drip, every drop, watch the haters fall. Channel sharp as thorns, ain't taking no mess. Scroll through her feet, feel that queen's finesse. Vines tangle tight, but Flora breaks free. Roots so deep, can't mess with her tree. From the mud she rises, roses from the dirt. Every comment section she lays down hurt. Flora's anthem, blooming under pressure. Resilient, resolving, no lesser. Florabella's reign strong and relentless. Beauty in battle, queen sure defenseless. From the garden green to the concrete wall, Florabella, unstoppable nature's child. Leaves whisper secrets, she's the loudest shout. From the channel buzzing, she never backs out. Seed of strength, through seasons she grows. In the face of doubt, her spirit glows. Cameras ain't a limit, she branches out. Thorns in her crown, she wears it no doubt. Flora's anthem, blooming under pressure. Resilient, resolving, no lesser. Florabella's reign strong and relentless. Beauty in battle, queen sure defenseless. Flora's anthem, blooming under pressure. Resilient, resolving, no lesser. Florabella's reign strong and relentless. Beauty in battle, queen sure defenseless.
Florabella on my screen, her smile it shines so bright. She's a queen with every scene, in the morning or the night. Recipes and good vibes flow, every video a gem. Her confidence it grows and grows, we're inspired like her friends. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power, spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows, she's where we all belong. With every like and every share, we feel her energy. No storm too strong, she can't bear. She's setting us all free. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power, spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Recipes and good vibes flow, every video a gem. Her confidence it grows and grows, we're inspired like her friends. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power, spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows, she's where we all belong. Every share, we feel her energy. No storm too strong, she can't bear. She's setting us all free. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power, spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows, she's where we all belong.
All right, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Yes, I hope you guys are doing good so far. Good. I hope you're doing good. Hey, young Riaz. I did just kind of schedule this off the cuff, but I wanted to do something a little bit different. Like I said a couple of days ago, still some body cam, still going to look at those police footage, but I also wanted to integrate some content about Antonio Brown. Not Antonio Brown, I'm so sorry. Antonio Armstrong Jr. As you can see in the title, it's kind of an edgy title. I didn't really want to do it, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to just put it in there and censor it and hope that YouTube doesn't punish me for that. But I wanted to talk about that type of crime. Right now, the root word of this larger word is parent, right? And so the victims in these types of cases are obviously the parents. So we're going to look into crimes like that. I have a couple of body cam footage that just shows some of the very tense interactions that we have been seeing, not just in body cam, but just hearing about. There was a 12-year-old recently who unalived her mother. So there's a lot of cases like this. 10-year-old did it over video games. These are rising crimes, I think, or at least we're talking about them more in that context. So I want to thread that in here to the show as well. So we're going to do that, but I'm going to start with body cam footage per usual. And let me start with the first story. Now, this is a story about a 17-year-old who is thought to be spoiled, right? She got into a physical altercation with her mother over a cell phone. And this is what the police saw when they arrived on the scene. All right, so let's get into this.
Located in the beautiful Athens, Georgia, officers responded to a neighborhood in reference to a domestic disturbance. We first meet up with the 17-year-old that fled after throwing hands with her mother.
Hey, Bianca. You mind talking with me? Yeah? I don't know. I mean,
My hand can't even move my hand no more. This shit hurt like a...
What'd she do to your hand?
I don't even know. You see the vein though? It like popped up and it's a little swollen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, did you grab your hand?
She hit me first. She slapped me first. So I pushed her.
Okay.
We just fought like normal. It's not the first time we fought before.
I got you.
But I told her, cause she's always trying to like... I don't know. She's always trying to...
Now, that's very unfortunate, right? I don't think that it's healthy for a child to believe that fighting is normal. It's something that she just does with the parent. I do think a lot of times parents are afraid to ask for help. They want to sort of just deal with everything. But if it's getting to a point where, you know, your child is you guys are throwing hands with each other, you probably need some intervention here, right? You probably aren't equipped to deal with the issue by yourself. So I would suggest getting help at this point. Hey, Dr. G, girl, you better. What's going on, young Riaz? I know I said that already, but I just wanted to say hello again. And let's continue.
Like, I can't have anything before she takes it away. Yeah,
well, I mean, you're 17, right? So you're almost 18.
Yeah, but like still, like, yeah, I don't know. It's just been rough. This is not the first time she's called the police on my... So,
okay. So,
I mean, I don't know, because she hits me first, because she's like, she be telling me like, oh, I'm gonna do this to you, and I'm telling her like, I'm gonna do it back to you, you know I will. And she's like, oh yeah, I want to see, and so she does it to see if I do it back.
Yeah.
Like,
how'd she hit you?
She like tries slapping me in my face, so she pushes me.
Okay.
That's how she starts, and then she like threw me. I don't even know.
Did she grab your hand or?
She does everything, bro. She's Mexican.
I know. I'm asking because we have to invest.
I didn't even feel it till after.
Yeah. Do you want EMS to come out and look to see if it's injured or anything?
I don't know, but this hurt. I can't move my pinky back. I don't know.
We can get them out here if you want. No cost to you.
I don't know, because if it can go away, then it's fine. But
so you can't go like this. Too much pain. It does look swollen. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Okay.
Like, it's shaking, but I can't feel it.
Yeah. Let me see your other hand for comparison. Yeah, you can tell if you look here. I'll hold your phone. That way you can see the comparison too. Oh yeah, you can see like right here, it's a lot more swollen than right there. So you definitely got some sort of injury right there.
I don't know if I fell or like, I don't really know. I just realized like after.
Okay. So your mom got into you for some reason, and she's like, I'm gonna hit you or whatever, and you just go ahead and do it. So she comes at you first, you push her back,
we start like fighting.
You start fighting. Is it just like hands and feet? I mean hands?
Yeah, it's just hands. She started pulling my hair. She's
Yeah.
Did he just say, is it just hands and feet? Oh boy, I'm sorry. That's not funny, but just yeah.
Okay.
And then she took like my earbuds. Like
Mhm.
this is my stuff. Like she doesn't buy my. She
Mhm.
took it and she started being like trying to whoop me with my earbuds. So I tried to get my earbuds back. I was like, "You're gonna break them," and they're like, "They're mine," you know.
Mhm.
And then like after that, she kept picking me. She grabbed my phone. This isn't my phone. My friend is letting me borrow it.
Okay.
So I was like, "Give me my phone back because it's not mine." She's letting me borrow it, and she like grabbed my stuff and she just like threw it and she like cracked it. Like you see, like she cracked my.
Okay, so she threw the phone and
She
cracked
threw my
it.
phone like after she was trying to like beat me.
Okay.
And I just left after that, and she started crying like she always does.
Yeah, and so she
And
called
like,
us.
I'm gonna call the police. And I'm like, you call. I don't care. It's not the first time this happened, and it's not gonna be the last either.
So we were called out here before then.
She said it's not the first time and it's not the last. I don't like the sound of that. It sounds like she's more than willing to escalate to violence. Now, she is sort of playing it like, oh, I had to defend myself. But she just heard her say it's not the first time and it won't be the last.
I mean, yeah, probably. I mean, probably the time I snuck out, but I don't care about that.
Well,
But I'm pretty sure I have been called by her.
when's your birthday?
Ya, llamé porque mi hija me agredió.
Ok. Blanca, ¿es ella? Ahí la tenemos. Está con otro oficial. ¿Me puede decir lo que pasó?
Sí, porque ella tenía un teléfono que no es de ella.
Ujú.
Y ella se enojó por eso porque yo le dije que regrese ese teléfono porque no es de ella.
¿De quién es?
De una amiga, dice ella que es de Jennifer.
Ajá.
Una amiga que se llama Jennifer. Entonces se enojó porque le pagué el wifi.
Ajá.
Ella nomás quiere estar en el teléfono. Le dije que si no lo regresaba yo iba a hablar con la mamá y el papá de esa niña. Porque yo no quiero que tengan teléfono porque haya pasado muchas cosas.
Okay.
Por tener teléfono porque ella
Sí,
no
sí, sí.
controla.
And pay attention to that theme, right? She's taking the phone away from her daughter because her daughter is having problems in school. She's getting into trouble. She's misbehaving. She's not following rules. So this is her mom trying to set limits. And somehow she claims that she's just defending herself. Her mom is Mexican, so she'd be hitting her or whatever. She's basically trying to imply that her mother is using physical violence to motivate her, I should say, to do right. And I'm not saying that that's the right thing, but I don't know. The mom's story is just she was trying to take the phone. Somehow she ended up having a squabble with her.
Y ya le quité los audífonos y fue cuando se me fue. Los audífonos del teléfono que trae.
Ok, usted le pagó el wifi y luego le quitó los audífonos. ¿Ella los tenía puestos?
Sí, uno sí, creo que sí. Uno
¿Y se lo
sí.
quitó del oído?
Sí, se lo quité, se lo jalé. Ya vino
¿Y que me puede venir aquí y enseñarme dónde le pegó?
Oh, so yeah, it's almost here.
But I don't want to stay here no more because I'm fine when my dad is here.
Mm-hmm.
But like when I'm by myself with her.
Yeah. Does your dad live in Athens?
Yeah, he lives here with us. He's at work right now, though.
Oh, okay.
Like
he doesn't live at the same house.
He does. It's just like pieces here when he's here, but
Mm-hmm.
he's gone. And
What's
she
your
tries to slip in the story too. So.
What's your last name, Bianca?
Is there like any way I can just stay somewhere for tonight or something?
Yeah, we might be able to make that arrangement. So basically, because you guys are mother-daughter, it does come under like domestic violence issue, and it depends on circumstance of the investigation. But sometimes it might feel.
Listen, it's the YouTube, so I'm not gonna sit here but it's a fact, and I do think some children need discipline, is what I'll say. Because they just think they can do whatever. And part of it is parents' fault, right? There's a different level of entitlement, like feeling like you have to get kids all the electronics and the clothes and everything that other kids are getting. And so, that pattern of doing things that way does make kids feel entitled. But, I do think some kids, you give them a little bit and they'll take a mile. And so she's probably one of those. I think it's reasonable for her mom to say, no, you need to give that phone back to your friend. You can't have it in my house. That's a reasonable request, So if she's, punching or slapping on her mom because her mom's taking away her phone, setting limits, they need outside help.
Better. you know, just to give two people space. If it comes down to that, we'll see. I mean, right now, from what you're saying, it was she came at you first. You kind of pushed back, and then you two kind of fought. Yeah, you got an injury to your left arm right here, and damage to your property or your friend's property of the phone as well. When's your birth date, please?
2004. You see, I'm calm. Like
462 Central. Got a name and date of birth. You are, and I appreciate you speaking with me.
I'm not worried because I didn't hit her first.
Bianca, 2004. What? Do you got a phone number?
No, I don't. I don't have that.
Oh, okay.
No more.
Pues me dio puñetazos y me rasguñó así.
Okay. ¿Y alguien más vio?
Mi hijo.
Okay. ¿Y también la rasguñó? Porque tiene bastante rojo aquí.
Pues ella me pegó.
Okay. ¿Cuántos años tiene ella?
17.
¿Tiene 17 años? Okay. ¿Y su hijo? ¿Puedo hablar con él?
And I feel so bad for her mom, you know, because you can tell her mom is just trying her hardest. She's probably overwhelmed having to go to the school all the time and deal with her misbehavior in so many ways, and she's being attacked for setting limits that it's, you know, is ultimately going to teach her to be an adult one day.
¿Cuántos años tiene su hijo?
10.
10. ¿Y dónde pasó todo?
Ahí en el porche.
¿En el porche?
Sí, es que venimos llegando.
Ok, ¿su papá de ella dónde está?
No está trabajando.
Ok. ¿Dónde está su hijo? ¿Puedo hablar con él?
Ya se cerró, no quiere.
Hey. Oh. What's going on, buddy? Did you see anything? Did you see what happened?
Yeah.
What happened? Can you tell me?
There's just like we came home from church,
Mm-hmm.
and then there my mom she got mad at her because she left the car on like for 40 minutes or something, and then she was mad at her, and then we came home, and then I don't know what happened, but they got mad at each other. And then they just started fighting.
Okay. Do you know where?
Yeah.
Where?
Porch.
The porch. They started fighting. Do you know who first?
What
do you?
No.
You're not sure? Okay. Thank you, man.
So what type of reasons like does she get on to you?
We've been arguing for the longest, but like today it kind of started because she was like, "You need to stop talking to me," like, you know, because like I was okay. She basically got mad because we had went to church, and she was basically saying that like.
And you know, the sad part is, right, the boy is probably so sick and tired of watching his mom and sister fight that he probably ran and closed the door and put his head down or whatever he needs to do to escape it. It's giving he's tired of the BS, you know. And there probably is some mutual bickering because the mom is trying to set limits. You know, she's trying to, you know, stop her daughter from making mistakes that are going to be very harmful to her in the future. You know, she starts pulling some of whatever nonsense she's doing as an adult. There are real life consequences. So, yeah, it's really sad. The boy really is probably just sick and tired of it. So
I had left the car on too long, and that's really all why.
Wow.
Yeah. She's like, "You left the car on too long." She's like, "Get the out of the car." She's like, "Go sit in," because I drive, and she's like, "Get the out of the car." She's like, "Sit in the passenger." She's like, "You're not gonna drive." And she was driving rough, and I told her like, "Can you like please drive right? You know, like I know you're mad, but you don't have to drive like that, you know." And she was just like, "No," she's like, "Stop talking to me like that."
This was in the car when you guys are coming from church to your house.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was like, "Yeah." She's like, "All you do is talk back." And once we got here, she was like, and she's like, "You need to give your friend Jenny her phone back. If not, I'm gonna go talk to her parents." I'm like, how is that like a threat? Like, she let me borrow her stuff. This is her own phone.
Right.
And I'm like, you need to stop trying to take away everything. Because I go to the gym and I haven't had a phone, like, personally for her. She hasn't given me my phone back in 3 years. So I just kind of like super controlling, you know? So I eventually, like,
well, you just said you were sneaking out the house a couple weeks ago. You just said it. You just told us your damn self that you've been sneaking out the house acting a damn fool. You have not earned your phone back. You haven't earned it back. You know, and this is the thing that kids don't understand today. I think they think that punishments are just like a temporary, like one day thing, and then your parent gives you your phone back. I remember at some point being on punishment for months. doing stupid stuff, being on punishment for months. And that was just a fact. It was just a fact of the matter. You have to win. You have to earn the trust back. I mean, what makes her think she's gonna have ran out away from home in the middle of the night not that long ago, getting in trouble in school, and she deserves to have her phone back? I just, especially your phone. Your mom's the one paying for it. It's not like you're really working. She got you. You got your driver's license. You're not a kid who doesn't have what you need to be doing the right thing. She's actually choosing to do the wrong thing, and she's mad that her mom is not feeling it. I wouldn't be feeling it either if that was my kid. Um, Sounds like she should have kept the phone. Yeah. I don't know. Hey, Bridget Renee, how you doing today? Yes, please hit the like button for me, guys. Thank you all for returning to the channel. I'm seeing some beautiful, lovely faces returning back, and I just want to say I appreciate you guys. Mom paid for the phone. Yeah, the phone that mom gave her is gone, right? She has that phone. She's not giving it to her. She went outside of her mom's rules and got another phone from her friend. And so that friend gave her a phone that she can use on Wi-Fi. And she's in the house, in her mom's house, trying to use a different phone on Wi-Fi, knowing that her mom don't want her having a phone in the first place. It's really ridiculous, honestly. Hey, Empress Kia, she says, hey, everyone in the clouds helping with homework. Yes, this is definitely homework time. So, yeah. But yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that she would go outside of her mom to get this phone, bring it in the house, and then not expect her mom to be pissed off. I mean, you're pretty much going against everything that she's instituting to try and set limits in the house. Whether you're 17, 16, if you're still acting a fool, then you still need limits. Yeah, and she's right to. But I guess the mom trying to take it away ended up in an altercation. So let's continue.
I'm not even trying to be like, how do you say, like rebellious?
Yes.
I'm about to be grown. I don't even have my own phone, my own service. They don't
Right.
let me work. They don't let me go out. Just do normal. So like staying all day in the house with her.
Yeah, it's gonna get a lot of tension. Right. Yeah, because you're trying to be independent. You're trying to come up to your own self.
Yeah, and basically that's why it started. And I didn't even pop at her. I just told her like, why is she like that with me? Like, why does she let me have my stuff from here and there? I'm like, none of this comes out of pocket, and it doesn't like.
Right. So you're raising concerns to her, like, hey, I'm 17, almost halfway through 18. I'm trying to be independent. You won't let me work. You won't let me have my phone back for 3 years. And I feel like I'm being smothered. I'm being controlled by you.
That's what I told her, and she's not mad. And she's like, you need to stop talking to me. Like, I'm not. It's only the truth. Like, why can't you just let me do certain stuff? And she just got mad, and she was like, keep talking to me like that, and I'm gonna pop you in your face, like in Spanish. And I was like, pop me then, because I'm gonna pop you right.
Hey, Amanda. Hey, North Star Flower. I've seen people pop in here. Hello. I believe she's 17. I believe that's what she just said. So she's 17 years old. She has a driver's license, but her mom doesn't give her a phone or any privileges. She keeps getting in trouble in school. Soon she will have to get her own house. Yeah, I'm getting, for me, I don't think after 18, I don't think she's going to stay there with her mom. I don't see that happening. There seems to be a lot of tension. She obviously doesn't have like reverence or respect for her mom. I'm not trying to be mean. She doesn't. She wouldn't put her hands on her if she did. So, can't even beat your own kids nowadays. They will match you. They will snitch. Sorry, I added that myself. I said they will match you because this girl put hands and feet on her own mother. So, yeah, mom can't let her if she doesn't respect her. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it would be a good look, especially after 18 when she's no longer in school. Like, what is she going to be doing? They don't trust her to work because of obviously the mistakes that she's making. Could they be being a little strict? Yes. But if she's just continuously doing terrible things like getting in trouble in school, fighting, sneaking out and stuff like that, then I don't know. What do we tell parents that have to deal with kids like this? We can't tell them, hey, yeah, you should just let your kid do anything they want in your house, no matter what, Yeah, I agree. I don't think she can keep letting her live there. You really don't have rights till you pay your own bills. Exactly. That's something the kids don't get. The kids don't get that. They be thinking because they pay a little phone bill or their car insurance that they're paying bills. They don't know about that rent that electricity, the internet, that Wi-Fi they're using. Yeah, they don't think about all of those things and how they add up. I would kick her out of the house too, because honestly, it's not worth continuously fighting physically with your child and getting hands put on you by your own creation. No thanks. She would have to be outside at 18. I would be like, you gotta go until you can learn some respect. You gotta go. Hopefully, I don't raise no kids like that, but doubt she would have to leave. These kids can't live without those phones, and that's a good way to discipline. Yeah, I think the phone is a good way to discipline, but if your kid is willing to put hands and feet on you over that phone, you're kind of out of luck. You're either gonna um, win the fight and then tell them, hey, this is my house, my rules, or you're gonna kick them out and call the police or whatever. So
back. And she was like, oh yeah, I want to see. And she hit me. She it's not even that. Like I was walking back outside so I wouldn't fight with her.
Yeah, so you chose before it even came to her touching you. You chose to leave the house.
I was walking because that's why I had my headphones, because I was gonna go for a walk to calm down. And while I was doing that, the came behind me and she like grabbed my hair and she started, she smacked me first and then pushed me. And then while I was trying to I was putting my phone down on the chair, like my chair was in front of me, and I tried to put my stuff down so I could push her off of me. And while I did that, I was walking behind her, she yanked my hair, and that's where it started.
Okay, so she yanked your hair, then she slapped you in the face.
She slapped me first, I think. Well, she was trying to, and I trying to push her away. And as I was putting my stuff down so I could push her away from me, she yanked my hair from behind.
So then you still just started pushing each other, and then when did she grab the phone?
It was sitting on the chair, so she was kind of blocking me out from the chair. And while she was blocking me out, I was trying to reach for her hand, because that's when she had my earbuds, and she was trying to hit me in the face with my earbuds. And that's when I told her give me my stuff back. And we have I don't know how to explain it. We have tools on the porch, and they're kind of laid out, so it's kind of it's not a bed, but you could fall down.
So you didn't want to trip.
She threw me on it, and I fell back, and then I got up. And when I had fell back, that's when the seat was here and the thing is there, and she got my phone, and I was give me my stuff. I was screaming.
Why does it sound like the sound went up for a second? No,
even my neighbors, and they were watching outside to see. But since we have recovered, and she grabbed my phone and she just threw it on the porch, and she broke my phone. And then I came back, and she was on the phone with the police already. And I told her, don't even cry, because you hit me first, And I'm gonna keep it a buck, which I'm just sick of it. It's not worth my energy anymore.
So after she threw the phone down, you picked up your phone, you just walked away.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she.
What church do you go to?
¿Ella no es de aquí o es ella tiene una identificación?
Sí, pero ya lo ha de tener.
¿Pero sí ha sacado identificación de aquí?
Sí, de la escuela.
No, pero del estado, así como de identificación de
licencia, sí.
Ajá. ¿Sí tiene licencia también?
Media.
Ok. Esto es lo que va a pasar. Ella tiene 17 años, ella es considerada adulto. Basado en lo que veo aquí, voy a hablar con ella, pero lo más seguro que me voy a llevar a la cárcel. Sí, porque es una adulta ya bueno, a los 17 años ya van a la cárcel de adultos. Entonces, yo veo que aquí tiene todo esto, lo veo la cara.
But the kids have an addiction to the technology, so it's actually unfortunate. I do believe that she really just wants her phone back, and she probably would have kept hitting her mom if her mom didn't give her the phone. So I agree. I think she probably has an addiction to social media, talking to her friends all the time. She probably has a disregard for the rules and limits that her mom is setting for her. So, she probably would have done just about anything to get that phone back, including harm her mother. So, just keep in mind that as we continue looking at the other body cam footage, and as we make our way towards the Antonio Armstrong Jr. story, because that is the interrogation that we're going to listen to, but we're also going to look at some of the facts of the case.
Voy a hablar con ella primero y después de ahí veo que...
Y es que yo no quería hacer eso, pero no es la primera vez, son varias veces.
No puede estar como que los hijos van a golpear a los papás, eso no puede ser. Ok, déjame hablar con ella. Ahorita a lo mejor mando al otro oficial para que le saque fotos y le doy el número de caso, pero lo más seguro es que sí me lo voy a llevar. ¿Okay?
¿Y por cuánto tiempo?
Pues es family violence, es una battery, es una misdemeanor, pero viven juntos y todo eso, tiene que estar en la cárcel, la noche en la cárcel, y ya mañana temprano ella va a hablar con el juez y el juez le va a hacer un bond hearing que le va a decir cuánto para salir, cuánto dinero para salir mientras tenga su corte, y ya ahí es de ustedes si quieren ir a recogerlo o no. Eso es ya, si le quieren dejar ahí que se siente un rato, pues.
¿Y cuánto tiempo se puede quedar?
Hey, Lana Love. So obviously, they made the decision. I need captions too, Bridget. And I was lost. He's talking real fast. Okay, let's look at. But basically, I got from there that they're gonna be taking her to jail, and so the mom was asking
Sí, pero ya lo
how long she's gonna be there.
puede
So
tener.
from here, really.
Pero sí se ha sacado identificación de qué?
Sí, de la escuela.
No, pero del estado, así como de identificación de.
Licencia, sí.
Ajá. ¿Sí tiene licencia también?
Media.
Ok. Esto es lo que va a pasar. Ella tiene 17 años, ella es considerada adulto. Basado en lo que veo aquí, ahorita voy a hablar con ella, pero lo más seguro es que me voy a llevar a la cárcel.
¿Seguro?
Sí, porque es una adulta bueno, a los 17 años ya van a la cárcel de adultos. Entonces, yo veo que aquí tiene todo esto, lo veo la cara, y voy a hablar con ella primero y después de ahí veo que
Y es que yo no quería hacer eso, pero no es la primera vez, son varias veces.
no puede estar como que los hijos van a golpear a los papás, eso no puede
Yeah,
ser.
I was just,
Okay.
it was too fast, Bridget. The subtitles took off on me. I had no idea what the fuck he was saying. But essentially, he decided, based off of the marks on her arm and her face, that her mom was obviously the victim of this attack, right? That little shaking finger that she showed wasn't nothing on her finger. That's why she was over there trying to shake it to the police, like, oh. The only bruising she got is from putting hands and feet on her mom. That's literally what she had. So they made the decision that she's the one that's going to jail. She's the aggressor, right? The victim obviously has marks on her face and her arms. And honestly, she got a baby in her hand. Like this girl's probably stressing the hell out of her mom, getting trouble at school, all that, and then has the nerve to put hands on her for setting limits in her house. You want to be on the phone in your friend's house? Be on it at school. You don't gotta be at home disrespecting the rules that your mom has, whether you think they're unreasonable or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it will be these kids who do the most that will try to call their parents unfair. Right. Soon they will be crying, complaining they won't let her out. Yeah, I think the family will definitely be upset. That's why the mom was asking. But sometimes it doesn't matter how the mom feels. Limits need to be set. And she's about to be an adult. She needs to know you can't just put hands on your mom. Especially now while she's taking care of your lazy behind. Phone, all the stuff that you have that because your mom bought it. And if you don't want to deal with her and the things she has when you're 18, walk your butt up out of her house and go figure your life out. Go to work. Do it all the hard way and see if the limits and the lessons your mom was trying to teach you is worth you going to run in the street to act a fool. So some people have to learn the hard way and you just have to let them.
Déjame ir a hablar con ella. Ahorita a lo mejor mando al otro oficial para que le saque fotos y le doy un número de caso, pero lo más seguro es que sí me lo voy a llevar. ¿Okay?
¿Y por cuánto tiempo?
Pues es family violence, es una battery, es una misdemeanor, pero viven juntos y todo eso, tiene que estar la noche en la cárcel, y ya mañana temprano ella va a hablar con el juez y el juez le va a hacer un bond hearing que le va a decir cuánto para salir, cuánto dinero para salir mientras tenga su corte, y ya ahí es de ustedes si quieren ir a recogerlo o no. Eso es ya, si le quieren dejar ahí que se siente un rato, pues.
¿Y cuánto tiempo se puede quedar ahí pagar si no la saco?
Si no la saca, hasta que tenga su corte.
No se sabe cuánto tiempo.
Pero ustedes pueden dejarla ahí, pero eso estamos hablando de meses en lo que sale de la corte.
¿Oh, sí?
Sí, o un mes, 2 meses en lo que llega a la corte. Si no van a pagar ustedes, ella, si no tiene alguien más que vaya a ayudarle con eso, ahí se va a sentar hasta que tenga el día de corte. Pero eso va a estar depende de ustedes. Ahorita déjenme hablar con ella. No te regreso.
So do I. I got my kids. They go to school. Yeah, my oldest, he's 16. So my oldest daughter, and my second son, he's And my younger daughter, she's in. Did you go?
No, I go to.
Oh.
All right. I know you already talked to this officer, but I just spoke to your mom and I wasn't here. So can you tell me what happened?
Do I have to repeat the whole thing?
Yeah,
He's gonna take the lead investigation.
I'm not putting you through all that again. It was the same story, but after speaking with the 17-year-old and the other officer. The shorter officer wanted to get more information about the actual fight and how it went down to determine who was going to jail.
It's been cracked, but like.
Where was the phone at when she grabbed it?
On the chair.
She was on the chair.
Mm-hmm.
She grabbed it and threw it on the floor.
Yeah, because
on the
like
porch.
that's when I had went to go put my stuff down. When she pulled my hair, and I had put it on the chair.
Did she pull your hair or did she pull your earphones?
She did both.
Okay.
She pulled my hair first, and then like after that, when we started fighting, she grabbed my earphone and she was trying
And
to.
she said she pushed you as you were walking out of the house.
Yeah, like okay, I was walking out the house, like you know how my house is, right?
Yeah.
You've been there a couple of times. So I was walking out because that's when we were like arguing, and she like basically walked behind me, and she like I turned around because I felt like she was gonna hit me already, and that's where she kind of pushed me, and then she tried to slap me, and then after that, it's like when I turned around to put myself down because I knew that we were gonna start. So fighting. She just pushed you and I don't know where just because. Because we were already arguing. Yeah, but just because you were arguing and she just decided to push you. Because she was, I'm telling you, she told me. Well, you know, I don't know if you know, but in the state of Georgia,
we don't believe you, little girl. I'm sorry. We don't believe you. Looking at your mom and looking at your little shaky pinky finger, I don't believe you.
Corporal punishment is still legal. So you're 17, right? So you still live under her roof until you're 18.
Oh, wait. So corporal punishment is legal. Oh, so they basically said, no, you broke the law when you decided to put your hands on your mom, because in this state, your mom can put her hands on you if you're not listening to her rules. Huh. They just reverse Uno card her. They literally reverse Uno. That is amazing. I love that. Poetic justice.
Do what they say. If they decide to punish you, maybe hit you a little bit, that's within the rights. And we don't, I mean, as long as it's reasonable. So you can't just my point is you can't hit them back just because they're hitting you. But I'm not gonna let her pull my hair.
Well, wow, poetic justice.
The first time I already told her.
Well, have you seen your mom? She's got all scratches over here. She's the
type of scratch herself, man.
She didn't scratch herself.
I know her. I know her.
So you think she scratched herself?
No, now she's scratching herself. You see, look how she's windmilling now. Now she's throwing haymakers trying to get out of this. No, she scratched herself. No, she was within her legal rights to shove your little raggedy behind and take that phone out of your hand. You should have walked away. But she decided to go then and put hands and feet on her mom because she didn't like the decisions that were being made. Okay, now look at you. Okay? You were in the wrong, right? Because your parents were instituting corporal punishment for your misbehavior. And you should have knew the law before you did all this, honey. Should have knew the law. In your state, at least. I don't know. There's other states where corporal punishment is not legal. So this would fall under child abuse if it could be determined that the mom hit her first. So.
Okay. Well, I don't know your dad. I don't know you. Get back in the car. I'm gonna talk to your mom one more time.
Is there any way I can stay somewhere else for the night?
Yeah, I don't know yet. We're trying to find out. All right, step out. You can step outside. You gotta stay here though. You can't go in there. You can't go anywhere right now. Okay. Why did you get mad at her one more time?
She's always trying to control everything I do.
Well, if you don't like the rules, you gotta live somewhere. You gotta move out.
And they don't let me move out because they're gonna call the cops on me. So.
Well, once you're 18, you can do whatever you want.
Well, that's too long.
¿Ella trató de salirse primero?
Ella estaba afuera ya.
No, pero no trató de caminar para allá.
Se fue.
¿Pero fue antes o después de la pelea?
Después se fue.
Ok. Ella dice que usted iba saliendo de la puerta y usted le agarró del pelo y le quitó los...
Le agarré los audífonos.
Ok.
Y le dije que se callara ya porque me estaba hablando.
Cuando ella estaba saliendo al porche.
Te voy a dar una cachetada ya.
¿Cuando ella estaba saliendo al porche?
No, cuando yo estaba saliendo de la puerta.
Y ella...
Estaba en la puerta.
Ok.
Estaba hablando con él. Y ya le dije, ya, Blanca, ya, párale que te voy a dar una cachetada porque me estaba diciendo muchas cosas bien feas. Y le dije, ya, párale.
¿Qué cosa le estaba diciendo?
Que no me deja hacer nada y que tú que cosas, pues.
¿Qué más? ¿Cómo qué específicamente?
Pues que ya ni me acuerdo, traje a la niña, mi amor. Que ya estoy harta.
Okay. ¿Qué le pasó al teléfono que tiene ella conmigo? ¿Cómo se quebró?
¿Cómo se quebró? Yo lo agarré y ella se me aventó.
¿Usted lo agarró?
Yo lo quité porque lo tenía ahí en la silla. Y se lo quité, lo agarré, le dije ya estuvo y se lo aventé. Yo se lo aventé.
¿Usted aventó el teléfono? Pero fue cuando ella...
Do me a favor, y'all. Hit the like button. We got 302 people in here. I think I'm still in 2-digit likes. So if you guys could do me a favor and hit the like button, all right? Do that for me, please.
Ella venía para donde usted.
Cuando me vino sobre mí.
Cuando yo tenía el teléfono, ella se le vino, y ella lo aventó para que no se le aventara. ¿O? No,
yo le dije, ahí está tu teléfono.
Ok. Sí. Para que ella no la atacara a usted.
Ajá, y ya de ahí me hice así para que no me pegara, ¿me entiendes? Y empezó a darme en la nalga ahí, según ella jugando. Y luego después ya la aventé, le dije que se quitara, pues la aventé, le dije, tú no me vas a pegar. Y ya vino y me empezó a dar ya duros puñetazos en todo mi cuerpo. Y eso fue todo.
The officer determined that the daughter was the one taking a ride, but she wasn't remorseful at all.
Go ahead and put the phone in my car.
The phone?
Yeah.
Both of them?
Yes. Yes, just put them in there. I'm going to take you to jail for battery.
Can my brother put my stuff in my room?
Sure, yeah. Hand probably just sold up because of you hitting your mom.
Well, I'm not sorry. I'm not gonna lie.
You should be though. That's your mom. I know they're strict and
Right. So she was over there trying to shake that little pinky and act like the reason why it hurts is because her mom was bending it back. No, you were literally punching and scratching on your mom. And that's why you have that finger looking all swollen like that. And you're not even ashamed of yourself. Like, she literally attacked her mom over a phone. You know, it's ridiculous. Yeah, now she's getting locked up and getting hemmed up before she even turns 18. Just ridiculous. She attacked her mom. Her shit should be in the street when she gets out. Yeah, but I mean, legally, the mom has to keep, you know, at least minimal custody of her until she's 18 years old. So, I mean, either that or a juvenile detention center. Hey, DB, yes, please don't forget to hit the like button on you guys' way in. We got 248 people here. Just tap the like for me, you know, double tap the screen. Do that for me, all right? But yeah, she really thought she thought she was gonna get away with this, seeing the mom's face and seeing the scratches on her arm. Like, the police obviously saw she attacked her mom because she wanted that phone back. You know, why she called the police for it. I see. All right, so on to the next video. A similar situation like this, where this kid seems to just think it's really incredibly normal to put hands and feet on the person who gave birth to her. You know, I'm not going to say that family relationships aren't complicated. They're extremely complex. You know, there could be a lot of anger and resentment that's built up, a lot of drama and things, and just stuff that we as regular people aren't going to know about everybody's families. But I think once violence becomes normalized in the household, things can get ugly, really, really ugly. So let's start this video. This is a daughter having an interaction with her mom that was very unpleasant.
Let me turn her ass up.
I got to fight with her.
On September 2nd, 2024, in Ohio, police were dispatched to a home in response to a reported physical altercation between a mother and daughter. Upon arrival, officers observed the two engaged in an argument.
Hey, relax. I'm gonna press charge on it. Walk over there.
Now, they don't say it in the title or in the description, but this daughter has children who are at her mom's house. So I'm gonna assume she's a little bit older than the last one. So all right. Victor Malikin said my mama would have sent us to glory. Right. That's why I'm like, I would not be doing that. She would have been put out in my house. Yeah, exactly. What's going on? Exclusive reactions. Yeah, for me, that person would have been, I would not be tolerating no kid putting hands and feet on me. As soon as violence becomes a norm in our household, like there needs to be more intervention at this point. Like somebody needs to mediate that situation before it gets worse, right? So let's get into it.
You talk to her.
I want to charge on her.
Okay, what happened?
You can even ask my granddaughter. Okay. I'm standing by the door trying to get out of my house. You see, she did this.
Okay.
She threw stuff. She broke glass, and then she started pushing me against the door. I pushed her away until she stopped pushing me. That's when she grabbed my hair. That's when she grabbed my hair. I want to press charges on her.
We step outside and talk.
It's on camera.
Ma'am,
it's on camera.
Ma'am.
It's on camera.
And it's blurred because there's a lot of children in the house, so they didn't want the kids to be seen, and it just lasted for a little bit. But DB said, victim right, my mom, grandma, and auntie would have all been over there jumping. Listen, like there's no way folks are gonna get, that's not flying over here. So
ma'am, can we step outside and talk?
Hold on, can I get my other phone? Do you see this? I want to press charges. Can I get my other phone? So I can get the camera.
Where's it at?
You're going to jail.
Stop.
No, girl, why you like so mad? Look at my swing on you right now.
Walk outside.
Walk outside. She's trying to act hard in front of somebody.
Walk away.
I'm trying to get my phone.
Ma'am, over here.
Okay, you got to talk to me and tell me what happened.
I'm sorry. Guys, I walked up to my mom.
That's your mom.
We arguing this shit.
Hey, take a deep breath. Let's just take a deep breath for a second. Okay? Take a
Coach, this is a lot of projection. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. I don't know what your situation is, but this seems like a little bit of projection. That's kind of a reach. Yeah, exactly. But I think this is a different time. Like I think there's a lot of entitlement within kids now. Like they sort of just feel like their parents owe them things. Like I mentioned, I think her children, the daughter, her children are there at her mother's house. So yeah, lots of entitlement going on today.
Take a seat. Take a deep breath. Take a seat. Relax. Can you take a seat
I'm
for
gonna
me?
press charges on you. When Yanni was breaking your windows, whooping your ass, and Ian was whooping your ass as a grown ass man, you did not press charges. Come on, none of that. You already get taken away. So I don't give a. I'm gonna fight for mine.
Okay. Take a seat. Relax. Take a seat. Is your finger okay?
I don't know.
Let me see.
Really bit me and I'm up in her shit. What are you talking about?
Look at the theme. The one that's doing all the pounding, their hands are always all swollen and messed up. Yes, because you're using those hands in vain. Exclusive reaction says, Flora, do you find an excessive amount of women are in these body cam videos? No, no, because I truly think that you know that we're gonna be just as much. I think there's probably gonna be balance out between men and women in body cam. It doesn't necessarily mean that women are excessively aggressive. You know, I see what you're trying to do there, but no, I don't think so. Also, if you look at certain types of titles, there's way more men, like in the theft, car chase, all that. So, yeah, where is the dad? I don't know. I don't know where the dad is. I have no idea. Just look at the numbers. Let's continue.
Take a seat.
But you bring my hair, bitch.
What's your name?
Yeah,
Tara Jones.
JT, I'm 29, so like the same applies for me. So I don't know where. I think there's been a huge jump in, like, you know, just attitudes and all that. But I said my generation was the last. Is that Taz telling tales? Yes, it is. He's telling tales. He's saying that women are in an excessive amount of body cam footage. I don't agree with that. I think certain types of topics or certain types of body cam, like things that involve kids and stuff like that, it tends to be more women. But when we get into car chases, theft, well, you know what? And now that I'm thinking about it, like the amount of women who be robbing their job. But they got all the mouths to feed. Usually it's the people who have all the mouths to feed. So I think if you want to run the raw numbers, I'm more than willing to listen and watch. But I think like it's all gonna be based off of like the type of crimes. No. That's not true. That's not true. I would need to see the raw data, to agree with that. Yeah, that's not true. You know what? You're gonna have to show me the raw numbers for me to really be able to sit here and be like, yeah, you're right. More body cam footage of women than men. I will need to see the numbers.
And she's the aggressor. I want her out of my house.
Okay.
I want to press charges. She's going to jail.
All right. Now that she's out there. All right. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Officer Bother. I can whisper a minute. Okay. Can I go ahead and get your...
That girl's psychotic. She's had an attitude since this morning.
Okay.
She's a mental patient. Yes, I bit her finger. She was grabbing my head.
Okay.
And pushing around and breaking everything in my house. She came up and she pushed me.
Okay.
And I pushed her. I was right there at the front door. You can ask the 5-year-old.
Okay.
She's not going to make up a lie. I was definitely going to press charges. I'm over this.
Okay. Hey,
I'm still trying to help her homeless ass. Oh my, I swear to God, I want to be...
No, relax.
No, like, I ain't never fight you like that before. I would really tear your shit down.
Okay, you're about to get arrested. Sit down. You can't make threats like that. Sit down.
You thought you was doing, you snatched off my wig, made my bloody on your face. What are you talking about? I don't play none of that shit. Yes, I did break that shit in her living room. Okay. Yes, I did throw her a trash can. She should never push me. I don't give a that. I tore your ass up. What?
You got a phone number?
Now all 3 of your kids whipped your ass. This he just bit me, bro.
Okay. Do you need EMS?
I don't know. Oh my God. You called.
Like, I get this family probably has a lot of drama, but this girl is trifling as hell to be talking about, oh yeah, I beat you up, like literally bragging about it. Yes, her mom said I'm over here helping your homeless. I'm sorry. Their drama is a mess. Like I've been over here distracted by the question. Let's listen to a little bit of that while it's still blurred because the mom.
You asked the 5-year-old.
Okay.
She's not gonna make up a lie. I'm most definitely gonna press charges. I'm over this.
Okay. Hey,
I'm still trying to help her homeless ass. Oh my! I swear to God, I want to be.
No, relax.
No, like I ain't never fight you like that before. I would really tear your shit down.
Okay, you're about to get arrested. Sit down. You can't make threats like that. Sit down.
You thought you was doing, you snatched off my wig, made my bloody on your face. What are you talking about? I don't play none of that shit. Yes, I did break that shit in her living room. Okay. Yes, I did throw her a trash can. She should never push me. I don't give a that. I tore your ass up. What?
You got a phone number?
Now all 3 of your kids whipped your ass. This he just bit me, bro.
Okay. Do you need EMS?
I don't know. Oh my God. You called a...
Talk to me. Stop listening to her. Do you need EMS? Yes or no? No. Okay. Tell me what happened.
Talk about I made my fist bloody over your face. What are you talking about? I really do this.
Tell me what happened. How'd this all start?
Oh, I set my daughter down.
She's literally sitting out there in them coochie cutters just acting like a donkey. Like she looks a hot mess. The mom didn't snatch the wig off her head. That's all she could do. She going to jail. She's absolutely going to jail. But like just sitting there hooting and hollering about what she did to her. Very, very ghetto. I'm sorry. I can't. This is too much. This is too much for me. I understand little parts of the conversation. So what really happens? Yeah, I mean, we're gonna hear a little bit more about what really happened. We haven't physically seen the mom yet because the blurred footage. I guess there was a bunch of grandkids around there. So,
by her arm, I took her by her arm and set her down. Why did you snatch her around? When nobody snatched her. If I snatched her, she would have been crying. Set her down, told her to sit. She get to talking shit, whatever. She's like, you owe me almost $1,000. I'm like, okay, bet, boom. Give me my rent money and you can take the rest. I'm not tripping about none of that. She get to talking shit. I walked up to her. She's like, you're not about to keep calling that. I don't care whose house this is. You're mad because I'm looking for my purse that was missing? Okay. Then, when I walked up to her, she's still talking, you won't hit me, you won't hit me. I ain't put my hands on her. That's my mama. I didn't put my hands on her. I never fought my mom again. I never fought my mom like this. This is my first time I ever fight my mom. I walked up to her, she pushed me. I walked up again, don't push me. She walked up, pushed me again, boom, I got to turn her ass up.
What do you mean turn her ass up?
Got to turn. I got to fighting her. And then when I got to upping her,
she's too trifling. I'm sorry. Like, you should not be describing hitting your mother like this. Like, this is ridiculous.
Her face punching her straight in her face. She took my finger and bit me. This really bit me, but you see, I was really punching her shit in. It's blood on my knuckles. I don't care about none of that. It bit me.
Okay.
You're an animal.
Why do you think she pushed you?
Because she said I wasn't gonna hit her. She thought I was gonna hit her. I'm not about to hit you. What do I need to hit you for? No, I just moved into my apartment today.
Is your kids right here?
Hey, 6, can we get another cruiser?
Are these your kids?
No, that's my niece. And all you did was pull him.
Oh, okay. They weren't her kids, so it's still questionable how old she is at this point. I thought they were her kids because she was talking about the kids, and that they saw her doing this. Not the police acting like he ain't know what she was saying. I think that was for the body cam. Like, I really think he wanted the audience, which is us, to hear what he got to deal with, the trifling bullshit he has to deal with every day. When people call the police for domestic disputes, it's things that those are the most frequent police calls that they receive are domestic disputes, issues in the home between family and things like that. The one time cops were at my house growing up, they told my parents they could whoop as much as they please, long as they didn't leave a bruise. My Lanta, I believe that too.
Talking about.
Do you have video of any of this?
No, she swears on camera. Okay, but so I want to press charges. You want my daughter to get taken away and you press charges and I go to jail.
Where's your daughter at?
My daughter is the baby that's in there.
Okay.
Like, why would I fight you with my daughters?
So she do have a baby in there acting a damn fool. She should be detained. She's dangerous. You know what? I will say, like, the fact that she's sitting there, like, huffing and bragging about punching, putting hands and tearing her ass up, I do think she should be detained. You know, she's liable to go off at any moment. Yeah, but, you know, Sugar Bum, we all know that he knows what tearing her ass means. It was the way he asked it, you know, but I truly think that he be performing for the body cam. You know, he's like, say it into my camera, tearing what up? You know, like, they find humor in their day. They have to, because this is ridiculous. You know, her edge is all puffed out, hair scraggly. So she had a wig on. It wasn't even braided down and nothing. Like, I got to tear her ass. Yeah, that is funny, but it's just not funny when you hear that she's talking about her mom. You know, that's the messed up part. You know, you're tearing somebody up in the street, okay, but your parent, the person whom you're in their house, you know, it sounds like they were arguing and she went up to her mom and challenged her. I mean, you think your mom's not gonna challenge you? She pushed you a little raggedy behind out. She's gonna challenge you if you come bucking at her like that. It's just ridiculous. He was getting clear evidence against her. Yeah.
What? But no, you're not about to keep pushing me. No.
Okay. This is your mom's house?
Hmm?
In a second, I'm going to go talk to your mom and my partner will come out here, okay?
I started pushing. I walked up on my
Hey, relax.
She pushing out strands of hair. Oh my God.
Just ignore that she exists right now. Can you do that for me?
Finger burn so fucking bad.
Again, just making sure you don't need EMS, right?
I don't know. I ain't never got bit before.
They're probably not going to do much for you, I'm going to be honest. Probably just going to look at it, and the best they're going to say you need to go put a Band-Aid on it or something.
And you said she does have mental problems?
Yes.
Okay, did she see somebody for that?
Yes. Did she take her medicine? No. She'd rather smoke weed.
Okay, when was the last time she
And her
took
house, I don't know that. Her house flooded. That's my daughter. Her house flooded. The police has been out here multiple times for her.
Okay.
She's disrespectful as hell. She started calling. That's when I first called y'all. And I'm like, you're mad because I said something to you because she was snatching the baby around. And I'm like, what are you snatching her around for and yelling at her? Stop doing that. It's on camera.
Okay.
I said, stop doing that. She's a baby. Feed her lunch. Then make her tired out so she can go lay down. You want to go run and go smoke a blunt and all that kind of dumb shit instead of taking care of your baby.
Okay.
She's supposed to be washing the baby's hair. And I'm like, okay, feed her lunch for now. She can eat when she wake up. Lay down. And all that kind of stuff is on camera.
Okay.
Then I'm like, Tara, stop doing that. She trying to show out in front of my niece on the phone. I'm not dealing with that.
Okay.
I just came from urgent care.
Okay.
I got a heart problem. My legs been swollen up. I'm not doing it.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you got a heart problem, can we take a deep breath real quick? Just take a deep breath. So, like I said, my partner's talking to her outside. Okay.
I want her gone.
So
I want to press charges.
Okay. So, why did it all start? It was all because
she is a manic. She's nuts.
Okay. Okay.
She's literally like Jekyll and Hyde.
Okay.
Nothing happened. I took her to the place where she's supposed to pick up her keys for another apartment.
Okay.
As soon as we get in the house, she starts yelling at the baby, going off, snatching the baby around. It's on camera. You sitting there telling the baby to sit down. She's one. Why does she have to sit down? What is she doing?
Okay.
She's not doing nothing. Yelling at my other. I have custody of my granddaughter. Yelling at her. Get away from her. Leave her alone. Yeah. And she wasn't doing nothing trying to sit with the baby because you're sitting there yelling and snatching the baby down. Then sitting the baby on top trying to put her shoes on. Smack the baby. And I'm like, what the f doing that for? Because she won't unball her. Babies ball their feet up when you put their shoes on. So they ain't realized. Shut the f. Then she gets on the phone with my niece. Trying to put on this big performance. I can't find my purse. And my purse this and my purse that. What here's got to steal your purse? You need money from me. What the hell?
So did I hear the mama say that she has custody of her granddaughter? So she has custody of this lady's baby. Are we serious? And she's doing all of this? That can't be what I just heard. Let's continue.
What do I, you sitting there insinuating that somebody in here took your purse.
Okay.
And kept like this, start slamming stuff. I said, Tara, stop slamming stuff in my house.
Hey, sis, can we get...
I'm not doing nothing until I find my purse. And this, that. That bitch start talking about something. You must be smoking or some mess like that. I don't talk like that in front of them. I don't do that disrespect stuff.
Okay.
She's not going to do it in my house. Then I went in there because she started throwing stuff. She broke my thing where I keep my remotes in. So then when I went in there, I said, I'm telling them that you're in here breaking my stuff. Then I don't care. Let them see this. She started throwing trash cans stuff around everywhere, damaging my belongings.
Okay.
So then she standing by the door. I'll punch you. I said, I'm about to call. That's when she started pushing up against me. And then that's when she started attacking me. You're more than welcome. I will give you to pull her to the side. I just said she's 5. She just turned 6. You're more than welcome to take her alone and ask her what happened. We are peaceful.
It's rain.
Yeah.
And the only reason why they put in my house is because her house flooded. And so I'm trying to help you and mama and help her. But you're not going to do that in my house with my grandkids and stuff like that because she don't see this kind of stuff. And I don't want this baby to get this kind of stuff. And it's not right. She's not going to be in here doing it. And yes, I'm too going to press charges on her.
Swap.
I'm done. I'm tired of helping her. I'm trying to help her. You don't try to help me. Why did you get me? You complain about everything.
Stop. Relax.
You're my mom, but don't really want to help me. You're weird.
No, just hang out in here for a second.
You don't want to help me. You're weird.
Watch her, don't let her leave. Watch her, don't let her leave.
I'm done.
Hi, ma'am. Can you tell me what happened?
She had an attitude since this morning.
Okay.
She's been here off and on because her apartment flooded.
Okay.
So me trying to be a mom, even though she's mentally totally unstable. Me trying to be a mom, trying to help her out. She had an attitude this morning, getting smart with everybody, you know, yelling at Princess, yelling at the baby, just going off acting a complete damn fool. So I was on my way to urgent care. I have a heart problem. I got fluid all over my body to make my legs swell up and break out and all this other kind of stuff. I had to go there. They wanted me to go to the emergency room, but instead I brought them back here so I could take my kids and stuff like that. As soon as we get in the house, she just started flipping out. She's yelling at the baby. Get the up here. You about to take a nap. I said, well, what does she do? And I was like, she's a baby. I said, well, if you're going to make her take a nap, at least feed her lunch. And that's all I said. I have the camera right there, as you see. I'm like, at least feed her lunch. And I was like,
I think that might be something with privacy, because if you guys notice, the girl was unblurred, but everything, the woman's house, the kids, that was all blurred. So I think there was a lot of kids, and maybe they wanted to respect the mother's privacy, because, you know, she is the victim in this case. So
she didn't do anything. That's just why you make her say that. She been up since 7. I fed her breakfast. So if she been up since 7, why you ain't come down and feed her breakfast? I fed her when we got to bed like 9. But that's besides the point. She's sitting there yelling at her. She came downstairs to do something, and all I hear is, get the f*** in that bed. It's a 1-year-old. Why would you talk to a baby like that? It sounds like terror. We're not doing that in here. You're yelling at this baby. You sitting there doing all this unnecessary stuff for no reason. The baby didn't do anything. Then she brings it down here. She was putting the baby's shoes on. You know how babies ball their feet up to put their shoes on. Then all I hear, I was sitting there washing out the dishes. I hear smack, and I was like, what did you hit her for? And I was like, babies do that when you putting their shoes on. And we're just glad you don't know. You don't hit a 1-year-old. I'm sorry, you just don't. I don't tolerate that kind of stuff. So I was like, you don't do that. Then she swung her and set her right there. Sit down. And I was like, why does she need to sit down? And I was like, she's not doing anything. I was like, she's a baby. Leave her alone. My granddaughter, I had her since she was 4 months. She came in here, was trying to play with her. Get away from her. Shut the f*** up. Then I said, Tara, just get out of my house. Then she started walking around. Somebody took my purse. She got on the phone with my niece trying to show out. Somebody got my phone. And you know, all this nonsense. I was like, if you're trying to insinuate that we have your phone, your purse? Who took your purse? You had your purse. You know what I mean? Like, you need stuff from me and money from me. What would I take your purse for? I gave you that purse. And so then she's sitting there doing all this, and then that's the first time I called y'all, because I'm like, she started calling me a bunch of bitches for no reason. Tara, like I said, it's on camera. I don't have no reason to lie. When the baby's here and she ain't here, we're peaceful. Everybody gets along. It's no problem. So she starts slamming stuff. I said, Tara, stop slamming stuff in my house. I ain't slamming nothing until I find out, and that's my call. Can y'all get her out of my house? So then they go from that. Then she's like upstairs in my room. I don't know what she did in my room. So I already been in your room. I said, I'll go in my room. I already been in your room. I said, you better not start throwing stuff around our room. So then she comes outside, smack you. And then I said, no, you won't. And I was like, let me quit engaging with you. I'm by the front door because so I can open it for when y'all come. She started walking up on me and was like, beat your ass, trying to show out in front of my niece on the phone. And so I was like, I moved her back. She was like bumping up against me. And I said, stop pushing me. And then all of a sudden she just grabbed my hair and started attacking me. And that's right before y'all came, and that's when I dialed 911 on my phone, but I don't even know my phone at now. But yeah.
Do you have any injuries?
Huh?
Any injuries?
Yeah. Do you see? This is my real fucking hair.
I understand. I'm saying, like,
my nose. I mean, I don't know if she scratched my nose or what she did. Yes.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Right here.
Marks or anything like that?
It feel like a little lump right here. I don't know.
Okay.
But I can feel it.
Does that camera catch anything?
That's what I'm trying to find my other phone. It was charging. She took it off the charger.
Okay.
But I was definitely one of the press charges on her.
What happened to her getting bit?
She was grabbing me. Yeah, bit her finger to try to get her off of me.
Okay.
And she's like, she's biting me. She on the phone talking this. You sitting there, got me by my hair, bent me over, and I'm trying to get you off of me.
Okay. Let's go ahead
and you sitting there trying to punch me in my face. I'm not just going to haul off and bite her.
I want to see the camera footage we have it, okay?
Okay.
That's the most important thing right now.
Yeah.
Do you have any cameras in here?
No, I don't.
Did the fight happen in here or in there?
In here, right in front of this door.
So it's not going to be on camera no matter what.
I don't, probably the sound.
Huh?
You can tell them what happened, princess.
Door, and she like.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! No! Oh God! God, she just got cut on a piece of this glass.
I'll get her band-aid. And she like,
oh my God.
She okay?
I don't know.
I think she'll be all right. It's just a little miss.
I know. Okay, Princess, this is what I want y'all to do, please. I want you to take her upstairs and go to the toy room now. If he needs to talk to you, I'll let him talk to you. Please give me a band-aid.
Oh, that's a big pile of blood. I cut myself on the glass too.
Oh my God.
But I fixed myself by a pin.
She wouldn't be bleeding if it wasn't for all her nonsense.
So what's going on today?
Me and my fault.
Okay.
Yes, I did. That little thing that was up there underneath the TV. Yes, I did smack that down.
Okay.
Yes, I did. That wasn't her. I could have paid for that. That ain't shit.
Yeah, they got search the
Yes, I did. Knock her trash can over. So it's trash all in her kitchen. Yes, I did. I did do that.
Yeah, you better.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know, she's giving, like, I'm not a practitioner, I'm not a mental health, none of that. But she's giving, like, manic. Like, her energy is very manic. She's like, oh, yeah, I knocked that down. I did it. Hey, it was me. I did it. Like, she's so, like, I don't know, like, something's up with her. I believe her mom about her having mental issues, but, you know, she mentioned that she's not taking her medication. This often will happen to people when they don't take the medication. Problem is, they'll take the medication, they'll think, oh, I feel so good, you know, I don't need this, I don't need medication, what do I need this for? And then they'll stop taking it, and then the medication's not there, they don't feel good, they don't make the connection that the medication is what's actually helping those symptoms. And so, boom, manic episodes, spiraling out of control, acting crazy. I don't like to use the word acting crazy when talking about people with having mental issues, but you throw in aggression, criminality, any other behavioral or personality disorders, and you have a recipe for disaster. Yeah, my heart breaks for those poor children. Yeah, because they're stepping on glass and stuff that their mom just slammed over in their mom and aunt, right? Because one of them is her daughter and one of them is her niece. But she's over there doing all that mess in front of some children to her mom. You know, it's very sick.
Okay. What are we arguing about today?
I woke up in a badass mood.
Okay. Okay, so if you woke up in a bad mood, how did you
I did tell her I was trying to go.
Okay.
She didn't want to take me anywhere. Then she keep doing all that little trying to, what is it called? Antagonizing me and shit, trying to get me to say shit.
87.
Okay.
She should never told me I wasn't on fire.
Okay.
You keep telling me to do something. You keep telling me to do something. Keep saying I'm wrong.
Okay. Okay. So you woke up in a bad mood and you guys just started arguing because.
No, she told the police when she called the police. She told them I was mad because I snatched my daughter around. She said something, and y'all pretty sure y'all can see on that camera. I start arguing with her. I was mad before this. I was not mad. I was mad about my purse. That's really what ticked me off. I was mad about my purse. I was mad about my money. Like I said, I told her, like, shut up talking. You said, oh, you almost $1,000. Okay, bet, keep that. I'm cool. I don't none of that. I have a job.
Okay.
I don't care. Yes, called the police. And after she called the police, that's when I walked up on her. She talking about I pushed her. No, I did not. I walked up on you and my chest hit you. I didn't push you. What? I walked up on her and my chest hit her. Because I was walking fast and I stopped myself. And she talked about some, oh, you was hitting me.
Why are you running up on your mom in the first place? Like, this girl's weird as hell. She has the nerve to be saying her mom don't like her mom's weird. No, you're weird. Like, you got issues, girl. The fact that you can't see that everything that you're doing is overstepping. Your house is flooded. This woman took you in. She didn't have to take your homeless ass in, but she did. And you're in her house, admittedly, that you bumped her with your chest. Why the hell are you doing that? Like, this is an unnecessary amount of aggression, and like in somebody else's home, nobody should be feeling violated like that in their own home. It's ridiculous. She's literally admitting to everything her mom said. Woke up with an attitude, was slinging things all over the place. She said her mom was antagonizing her. By telling you to not be yanking your daughter around, no, she's not antagonizing you. She's trying to help you bring some attention to your behavior, to your body language, to how you're holding and caring for your own kid. Yeah, but she, for her chest to bump her mom, she ran up on her. Like, you don't have to do all that.
No, I was not. I didn't hit you until you shoved me like in the street. Then I wowed out on your face. I don't care about none of that. You're not about to put me in your mom. I don't care. Y'all need to broke your window, stole your car, stole your credit cards, maxed out on them, beat your ass multiple times. You ain't press charges now. Now one of them times you want to see me fail so bad. Okay, cool. Keep it that way. I swear I'm so stupid. Diploma. I graduated early with a 4.0. Straight honors classes.
So basically, she's admitting that everybody be abusing her mom. Her mom, the man, another sibling, her. And so she's comfortable abusing her mom physically because her other family members do it. Because other people do it. Like, I don't... This girl has weird... Like, you would think that would be a reason why you don't put your hands on your parents. Right? You watch them going through physical violence in relationships from your other family members. Instead, no, that's a reason why you're gonna put hands on her. Like, this child, this grown up with a baby of her own, she needs to go and seek treatment. She needs to keep taking her. She should be forced to take her medication. Don't lock her stupid ass up. Throw her in a mental hospital. That's what she really needs. She would hate that too, but that's what she really needs. And she said she was the third child to beat her mom's, but that's just sad. Exactly. And the messed up thing is she's talking about how all these kids are beating on her mom, but obviously she's letting you stay with her. She's helping you, and you're mad that she's what? Telling you to do right, telling you not to be acting a fool, getting all angry and acting out, lashing out on your kids. I don't think that's a bad thing for your parent to say. She's obviously still helping you as you're a grown adult who don't have any place to go.
Never done. I'm a little crazy in the bush. Oh my god. I hope nobody find out I'm in jail because this shit gonna go viral. They see this shit. Can you go in there? I swear to God, I'm about to spaz out. Oh, y'all. I swear to God, bro.
Man, the little
Can I get my daughter?
Man, the daughter's okay. All right. The daughter's okay.
That's weird. Start talking about something.
Oh, damn, I accidentally fast forwarded. Honey, you did go viral. But it's not giving what you thought it was giving. It's definitely not giving anything outside of ratchet and ghetto. So.
Oh my god. I hope nobody find out I'm in jail because this shit gonna go viral. They see this shit. Can you go in there? I swear to God, I'm about to spaz out. Oh, y'all. I swear to God, bro.
Man, the little
Can I get my daughter?
Man, the daughter's okay. All right. The daughter's okay.
That's weird.
Go ahead and take a seat for me. Go ahead and take
my purse.
Man, we'll go ahead and sit right here for me.
Can you get my purse?
Well, just go ahead and stay right here for me. All right. We'll get it in a minute. All right.
Can you tell me what happened one more time?
Where's her bra? Like, what? Thanks for watching. Please like him. I want to be a policeman in the next 4 years. Well, shout out to you, Omega. Good luck to you. This should be like a little preview of what it's going to be like. At least the exciting parts. She needs a bra.
You fought. Huh? You fought. I know you fought. Who started the fight?
She did by arguing.
Okay. So she's arguing with you, then you walk up and start punching her?
No. She can't just walk up and start punching her.
I'm just trying to figure it out. That's why I asked you to tell me. Can you tell me what happened?
I walked up. My chest hit her. She pushed me.
Okay.
I went back to fighting. Before we was fighting, that glass that they getting cut on in there, I slid it off the thing.
Okay. So let me just recap here. You walked up, you chest bumped her. She pushed you back, and then you swung on her.
2-3.
Huh? Got it.
Okay. All right, man. Go ahead and stand up for me. All right, go ahead and put your phone down. All right, go ahead and put your phone down.
And that was the moment she knew she was going to jail, right? She realized she messed up. Now,
Back your head.
Okay, sorry. 12:32.
Do you have anything on you that's going to poke me, stick me, or hurt me? No? All right. Put her in cuffs first.
She won. I'll let the win. Oh my soul.
12. Yeah, we're going to be taking 2 over to Robinson's field.
DeAndre, I call you.
16. 1 second.
Oh, that's tight.
Which one's tight?
Do a good search.
Which one's tight?
Take her and put her in the back of the car.
Okay. They still feel okay?
205.
Ma'am, they still feel okay?
205.
You okay? All right, I just want to make sure that they're not tight, okay? So I went ahead and double locked them, so now I'm going to tighten up anymore, okay? All right, hold on a second. All right, so now I got to search you, okay? All right, you're positive there's nothing on you, okay? All right, I'm just going to search you, okay?
43. 43?
What? I swear to God.
23 is this and this other place.
What?
1-9.
Okay. Okay, all right.
I'm sorry, you're requesting another unit? And what is it, the 31?
When is this to happen?
Let's make sure no cars are coming.
8-8. Copy.
Yeah, what I asked to leave before we even fought.
9.
Ask to leave.
Yeah, so we're going to look up here to work.
This way a little bit, please. Can you come towards me?
Copy. Supervisor, go to page. Copy.
Go ahead and lean back a little bit.
It hurt.
Okay, it hurts?
41.
Okay.
Freeze channel clear. Affirmative, 41.
Everybody's okay?
19 to front station.
Are you all right? Okay.
48, that's me.
All right.
I copy, I'll be en route from the station.
Yeah. So the CSB will be here in about an hour. We can't leave until they get okay?
Okay.
So you can get everything ready
1324.
to go for the baby, okay?
They gonna take her?
They might take her for now until they'll probably have to run back and like run your information stuff, and they'll give you a call.
Oh Lord.
So if you could get everything ready,
You mean like take her for days or?
hopefully just like hours.
Brandon,
So,
Okay.
and again, do you want to go down and sign the?
wait a minute. They're taking the kid from her? Why? That's crazy. That is crazy. Good evening, Terrence. They're taking the kid from her? I don't get that part. I hope it's not because they stepped on glass.
Charge against your daughter?
You
Or?
can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since you can't get out of here with her right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you could have everything ready by like 2 o'clock, it's like 35 minutes from now.
Okay.
Does that sound okay?
What do they need, like her diapers and?
Whatever, like just to go bag, you know. Do you have a car seat?
Yeah.
Okay, that kind of stuff would be great. Okay?
Okay.
Just hang tight, and then they'll take all your information, they'll talk to you, and then we'll go from there, all right?
Okay.
Hello. I'm all right, how are you?
All right. Is Grandma here?
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
So the reason we didn't give authority for grandma to take the kid is 2 reasons.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. Okay, so that's her child's her mom's her daughter's child. So it's not her granddaughter that she has. It's the one that she was that was staying there with her. And I guess maybe because of her behavior, that's probably why they called CSP, I guess, child service, whatever, or child protective services. What is going on? No pain, no gain. I don't know who you are, but I hope you're doing good tonight. Let's continue.
Warrants. So it's super minor. Therefore, just driving with grandma to take the kid is 2 reasons. She's got 2 traffic warrants. So it's super minor. Therefore, just driving without a license. But just
Does
be on
she have a license now?
I don't know. I can double check.
Yeah, because otherwise I can't let her drive off.
Right. So grandma lives here. This is grandma's house.
Oh, where's Mom live?
Mom lives over on Tarson Terrace. So Mom's been staying here for the last month. Sounds like Mom's house got flooded during all those storms. So the second reason is that the suspect, mom of the child, actually has a protection order against Mom, and she's been violating her own protection order for the last month. So.
Oh, wait, who got the protection order?
She got the protection order against Mom, and so technically she shouldn't have come over here and violated her own protection order.
Is she still in the car?
Yeah.
Is she being arrested?
Yeah.
See, this is why I said family situations are tricky as heck, because I would have never thought that there was a protection order against the mom from the daughter. Right? There must have been something that precipitated that. That was a turn of events that I was not expecting. So family situations can be very, very, they can run deep. There can be a lot to them. So
they got into an argument. She chest bumped Mom and then started punching Mom in the face. She chest bumped
her
grandma.
Grandma.
Yeah. And then started punching Grandma in the face.
Does Grandma have injuries?
I'm going to double check when we go back in, but as of when we first talked to her,
I was not expecting that turn of events. So Grandma at some point was the aggressor, I guess. I think at least the TPOs, they don't give those out for no reason. There had to have been some type of altercation for her to have got that granted. So just a crazy turn of events here.
She didn't have anything, but they both said the same thing.
The woman was arrested and charged with domestic violence. What do you think would be an appropriate sentence if she is found guilty? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos.
All right, so let me get on to the next video. I do have, I believe, one more before the Antonio Armstrong video that we're gonna watch a few videos about him actually. But I'm showing all of these to show a more studied type of crime, which is actually in my title. I did have to censor the word, so I'm not going to say it here, but crimes against parents, we should say. We've been hearing about that more, and the suspects are younger and younger. So I thought this case would be a good one to take a look at. I have taken a look at it in the past, not on my channel, but I've seen lots of videos on it. And I said, you know what, this is a great case to look at in terms of a parent deletion, I should say, just to keep it simple. All right, so I'm going to pick the next video. This one is a mom and daughter were at Home Depot and this happened. So I'm gonna share the screen. Yeah, it was a crazy case, and if you know anything about it, there was like 2 mistrials, like just ridiculous amount of contradictory evidence and statements. At some point, his family, the family was supporting him, so just a very crazy case altogether. I don't think we're gonna know though. I don't think we're gonna find out. So Yeah, that's a wild case. I did his. Yeah. That's where I've seen it. That's where I saw it for the first time. Hey Marie, she says hello, and cheers to you. It is technically Thirsty Thursday, so. But yeah, so this parent and child were inside of Home Depot, and the daughter did something crazy, and then started shifting the accountability to her mom.
So, hi. We're not screaming. This is over with. We'll talk in just a second. When everyone's calm, we'll talk about it.
Right. I'm plenty calm, so let's talk about it. It's Tuesday night at the Home Depot, and business is booming, mostly with paying customers. Except, train your eye top and center of your screen on that heaping cart full of expensive merchandise pushed by the younger of the two women we met a few moments ago. That's her mother, trailing behind. She turns her cart 90 degrees and hightails it through the entry doors, having paid for nothing. Bystanders look confused, perhaps even amused. But if we direct our attention again...
So you saw that, right? This woman, yes, another woman, okay? This woman was inside a Home Depot, and I'm just going to mute it just in case that sound gets me in trouble, because it certainly can probably. We're going to see. She got a full cart of stuff. Full cart. Doesn't even attempt to go to the register. Doesn't make any indication that she was going to come back and pay. Right? Just sort of gets out, takes off. Her mom is just walking behind her like, this girl's full of crap. She's going to keep doing this BS. And they go outside. And so what we see from the body cam footage is the police pulling up to the scene because security is like, where is she going with all this damn expensive merchandise? And I did just mute this out because there's some music in it.
Okay, what do we got, David?
Retail theft. She loaded a cart. All kinds of merchandise.
Sir, I was having problems with her and I needed to get away, but she would not leave. Because I don't want her to leave.
All right, we'll talk about it in a second. Stop.
She is.
We'll stop.
She is part of it.
1 second. We'll stop. Okay.
If she were not provoking,
I just told you to stop talking. Right. You're not in handcuffs right now. Okay. You're not under arrest right now. But I need to sort this out, and I need to do it with you being calmly, without shouting. You got it?
That's fine.
Thank you. Sorry, I was Robert 23 earlier in the day.
That's right. We should get enough. You're on the line today.
So what happened?
Saw her just making a lot of selections. And then also she was grabbing up and she made all the selections grabbed at Home Depot buckets and then started loading. And then there I know she's going to freaking just do it first. And then she was hiding down an aisle.
Yeah, the one.
The older one never touched the thing.
Okay.
Just argued with her.
All right.
They were just fighting around the store. But she knows what she was doing. They were selecting everything they can to put the buckets. And then in the back of the store, just to load the buckets up.
Okay.
And then she took the whole order of stuff.
Okay. All right. Yeah, give me what you got.
It's going to take a while.
All right.
I'll go in and check it out.
All right, sweet. All right. What's your name?
Florence. It's Barbara. I'm sorry. Barb.
What do you prefer?
Barb is fine.
Hi, Barb. I'm Matt.
Nice to meet you.
Let's start this over again, okay?
Sure.
Hi, I'm Matt. Do you speak English?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Barb, can you tell me what happened?
What's that?
Can you tell me what happened?
I was trying to exit. I was trying to look for something in the store. My mother is my ride, except that she is constantly pestering me. And so it escalated because I wanted to learn more about the tools. And then she wouldn't leave me alone, and I did not have the opportunity to use them.
What stuff were you looking to buy today?
Today, specifically,
Yeah.
I don't even know.
All right. Well, why were you here to? No, I go to Home Depot all the time, and I always have a very specific reason to come here.
Electrical tape.
So you need electrical tape.
Certainly.
Okay. What else was in your cart that you were planning on buying today?
I could have done with electrical tape.
What else did you walk
but
out
without
the door with?
spackle, no, I think that's almost irrelevant because she is the one
Well,
that
Barbara, it's
pestered
relevant to me. So
Oh, that's fine.
what
No,
were you taking out of the? What were you bringing with you out of the
So
store?
I came in with spackle and pop tops. The Hillman pop tops.
Okay, and that's what you came into the store with?
That's what I came into the store
Okay.
for.
What did you come? All right. So you came into the store for spackle, and pop tops, and some electrical tape. And what did you leave with?
I was also looking for toilet paper. Okay. What did I leave with? I left with the education that I could have received at Home Depot.
What product?
It was what was in the cart. A whole slew of DeWalt tools, hand tools.
All right. What were you using those for?
What's that?
What were you going to use the DeWalt
This is a project that she stalled.
What's the project?
It's a bathroom renovation.
Okay, so you're doing a bathroom renovation.
No,
And what DeWalt tools did you need for the bathroom renovation?
Right now, immediately a hand saw.
Okay, so you needed a hand saw. So that's not a DeWalt tool.
Yes, there are actually quite a number of them.
Well, I mean, you're leaving with hand tools, though. I'm assuming other power tools.
Oh, we don't need. I mean, at present, no. Just a crowbar.
So
but we already have one at home.
So you need a crowbar and a hand saw. But you walked out with other DeWalt tools?
Yes, because she came in and wouldn't leave me alone, and I can't think. Okay. And the thing is, yes.
All right.
I would say this is if I had a clearer mind, and it has nothing to do with mental illness or anything, but if I had a clearer mind and not a pestering woman going at me, I could make educated decisions. I could make
You have a clear enough mind to know that your stupid behind walked out the store with all them items that you knew you weren't going to pay for. You just said you're going to buy four or five items. You had a full cart. What does your mom have to do with you burglarizing Home Depot?
Your decisions, and now it's just a lot of things.
Yeah, you inside or you in the parking lot?
I have two detained in the parking lot. We're on the north side of the lot. I already talked to him. He's just putting together some pictures and stuff. Okay. Taking photos, everything, trying to get me a receipt. I'm just getting her side of the story right now. So, all right, that's where we're at.
I'll watch the video real quick.
I'm just gonna high 95 right here in a second. Just finishing the story right now. Okay.
Yes.
So he came out with some spackle, some electrical tape, a hand saw.
Yes.
And what else?
Possibly, no. I mean, I would have stuck with. You asked a different question. I would have stuck with probably the pop tops.
Okay. But what else did you come out with?
I can't even begin to tally that.
Just having trouble remembering.
Of course.
And that's okay.
Well, I was just trying to escape her.
All right.
But the thing is that.
What was she doing that was so bad?
She was following me and she would not leave. I asked for privacy. She should be. I asked for privacy to be able to sort through everything, but I needed her to leave.
Okay.
And she did not. She did not respect that. So then I got upset, and
which one of these cars is yours?
I'm still bitter about it.
Hey Barb, which car is yours?
Oh, Barb. Why don't you? I actually don't even know where it is.
Okay.
It's not mine.
It's not that. It's because our house full of things.
I appreciate the mediation.
Yeah.
Hey Barb, do you have an ID on you?
No, I'm sorry. I
don't have any form of ID on you?
No, I'm sorry. No, I don't because no.
If you don't, you don't.
I don't even have. I don't
Not
have
a big
accurate
deal.
ID.
What's your legal name?
Florence Barber.
Florence Barber. F-L-O-R-E-N-C-E.
Barb is fine. Yes.
That is not her name. Like, we all know that's not her name. I bet you she got a lengthy history of that. That is not her name. Now, we're not going to watch this whole one because I do want to get into Antonio Armstrong, but I wanted to show a little bit of this daughter and her weird, sentiments toward her mom. Now, if you guys can do me a favor, get the likes up for me. We got 36 likes. Got 130 people here. We can definitely get that up to 50 for me. I would appreciate it. All right, please hit the like button.
What's it say on your ID?
Huh?
What does it actually say on your license?
Florence T. TWU.
Florence T.
TOO 2.
So Florence Florence
Yeah.
TOO, and then arrested before.
Not under this name, no.
But you
As
you
this
have.
identity, no.
Do you have anything in the bag that would have been proceeds from inside?
I'm.
It's okay if you're tracking here for things from inside the store.
No, I would prefer that this is the entire problem. It's a privacy issue. I would prefer that you not check the bag.
All right, I can forego that just as long as you tell me there's nothing from the store in there.
I have to say that there's nothing from this store, yes.
Okay. I'll pull out of that for a second. Oh. Is this your coffee mug? Is this your coffee mug? I'm just going to hand this to this officer real quick, okay? You had stand up, or?
Be careful with the coffee mugs. Yes, sir.
All right. Go ahead, put your arms behind your back. You're under arrest right now. I need your hands behind your back.
This little sob story was going to keep her out of jail. You know, I don't know if that's what she thought. Maybe she said, well, my mom made me do it. Then maybe she can get out of going to jail. Okay. Yeah, she's pretty much snitching on herself. Okay. Like insinuating that she has burglarized another business. And that's probably why she's giving them a fake name. Florence too. Like nobody believes that's her name. Her name is not Florence. Her name is I'm not going to say any names because I don't want anyone to think I'm stereotyping, but we know her name is not Barb. Okay, it's not.
I'll grab this from you. Wait, grab this from you.
Oh,
go ahead, like later.
I'll just hold whatever together for you.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, all right, Barb, we're going to go over this way, okay? We're on the other side. Just hang out right here for a second.
Yeah, I guess you talk. Sorry about that.
Have a seat. Watch your head as you get in, okay?
Thanks.
Sorry, I'm not ready.
I'm just going to grab the seatbelt right here.
10-4, 1 female 95. Gabby 22. There's no 61 to sort house.
Daniela. I have to edit the name.
Okay.
Thanks.
Either way, she can't leave the store with all those belongings. She can't do that. That's against the law. Okay.
Did they say how much it was?
Not yet, but it sounded like a decent chunk.
Where else one female custom type of store?
All right, so we're going to leave that there. You know, she's obviously unwell, as well as unwilling to take accountability. Probably has robbed in other counties under other names. She mentioned multiple identities. I think she has multiple personalities as well. So we're going to leave that there. I'm going to move on to the next subject, which is Antonio Armstrong Jr. All right, I don't know if you guys heard about this case, but we're going to do a little bit of recapping. I'm going to look at a video that talks about when he was finally actually convicted. So there was two prior mistrials that ended in him being acquitted, but obviously, you know, the state isn't going to go out that easy. They came back for a third time, and he was eventually convicted of deleting his mom and dad for malicious reasons. So let's get into this little recap. We're going to listen to the interrogation because I could only find audio. I believe that's probably all there was. And then we're going to watch his jailhouse interview. And you guys decide for yourselves, right? Is he innocent? He was technically, 2 times they were unable to determine if he was guilty. 3rd time's a charm, but, could he possibly be innocent? I'll let you guys decide. I won't even give my opinion yet.
Find the defendant, Antonio Armstrong Jr., guilty of capital murder as charged in the indictment.
And we begin with this breaking news that we have been following for you all afternoon. A verdict has been reached in the A.J. Armstrong capital murder trial. After 2 mistrials, this 3rd jury has found him guilty.
Armstrong is now sentenced to life with a possibility of parole after 40 years. And we have team coverage on today's verdict. We begin with the only reporter in Houston who's covered this case from the very beginning, ABC 13's Courtney Fisher.
Yeah, guys, it took jurors only 10 hours yesterday into today to decide that A.J. Armstrong did, in fact, kill his parents when he was 16 years old 7 years ago. We have video of that verdict coming down just about 2 hours ago now. Picture this, A.J. Armstrong is in jail right now. Of course, we know he will serve life in prison with the possibility of parole after 40 years. His wife tearful in the courtroom as she mouthed something to him. He was led away in handcuffs after being fingerprinted. We spent time in the last hour talking to the prosecutors on this case. John Jordan and Ryan Trask have worked this case now for more than a year. They were the ones who tried it in that 2nd trial we know ended in a hung jury, and they got 15 out of 15 jurors, 12 jurors plus 3 alternates, to say that A.J. Armstrong was guilty. And they spent time with those jurors. They told us about what it meant for them to convict this young man. They said they methodically worked through the evidence yesterday and today. Ryan Trask telling us that these jurors actually made flow charts of the evidence on the wall, something he said he had never seen in his career. And they say that it was the 911 call, AJ's interrogation tape that lasted just under an hour, the test fire. Remember, he fired a gun.
So that's really relevant right now. I'm going to play the 911 call for you guys. All right. So give me a quick second as I put that together really quick. You guys just talk amongst yourselves. Because there was, it was a really shocking thing for a lot of people to hear. All right, I'm going to share this, and we're going to listen to that really quickly.
Houston 911, do you need medical, police, or fire?
The police, he's whispering, advising he just heard gunshots in the parents' room.
Is this a house?
Yes.
And your name?
AJ.
Any medical attention needed?
I heard gunshots, so I don't really know.
In your parents' bedroom?
Yes. How did you get it?
He was whispering. He was very quiet, concerned somebody may still be in the house.
Okay, police are on their way.
My daughter Olivia got the phone call. She said we had to go to Antonio and Don's home, that there were shots.
When AJ called, I could hear it in his voice. He was afraid, he was hysterical.
He said there's been some gunshots and, somebody was here. They were in the house. I didn't know what to think.
The police immediately go through the house to secure the house and make sure there's no one else in the house.
As they are going through the house, they're not sure what they have. Someone could be jumping out at any moment.
The officers found out very quickly that they showed up to a house that was locked. The windows are all closed, the blinds are all down, the locks are all in place, and there's no forced entry.
So this was probably the most shocking part of the case, right? He calls 911. He acts like there's an intruder. He's whispering, somebody's here. Help me, gunshots. And they come, and there's no way there's no forced entry, and there's no way anybody could have gone into the house. The doors are locked, windows are locked. Literally, it's sealed. The only person who could have done it is somebody who was inside of the house. That's the only way. Right? Unless he went behind the people and shut the doors and locked the windows, which is highly unlikely. let's continue to hear a little bit more about what happened in court.
Into his bedroom floor weeks before the murders, and also tried to set his parents' house on fire while they were home. Those were the things that mattered to these jurors, not, in fact, that new blood evidence that was really talked about over the last couple of months that delayed this trial. They say that for this jury, it was clear. They just wanted to make sure they got it right, because think about this. This young man now will be spending the rest of his life away from his wife and son. And prosecutors, of course, say they got it right. Now, defense says they'll appeal. Prosecutors saying that they are confident this case will hold up. And they also told us it was an emotional day for us. Here is how DA Kimog put it.
Antonio Sr. and Dawn Armstrong died because they were trying to be good parents, because they wanted their children to do right, not to lie, to work, to be law-abiding, contributing adults. And for that, they paid with their lives. And so today, we've now seen what a murderer looks like. It can be anyone, and the fact that it was their own son is it's a trauma. It is a tragedy for the whole family.
Is guilty verdict. They actually had flipped charges across.
Now, you remember a big part of this trial was the defense's theory that Josh Armstrong, AJ's older half-brother, could be the real killer. In fact, days.
Yeah, and like there was some footage of him with his son and all that, I think, which to me was just like, he was I feel like he was trying to make us feel bad, like, oh, damn, you guys are going to send me to jail for deleting my parents. I have a 1-year-old. There was a lot of, his lawyers were doing a lot of stuff. Honestly, I think that's what resulted in the first 2 mistrials. I'm going to leave it there, though. Let's continue.
Of testimony were spent talking about his mental health declining in the weeks and months after the murders. And John Jordan and Ryan Trask talked about that. And they say this guilty verdict also vindicated the other son. We're going to hear them talk about that coming up in 30 minutes. For now, reporting live from the courthouse, Courtney Fisher, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Courtney, thank you for that. Well, our team coverage continues now with Maya Shea. She is live at the courthouse as well.
Yeah, Maya, we wanted to ask how Armstrong's defense team's reacting to the guilty verdict tonight.
Well, it was tough for them. They said it's just a difficult process, right? Because they have been with AJ Armstrong since he was a teenager through 3 different trials. Twice they managed to get a hung jury. This time they lost, and their client is going away for the rest of his life. This afternoon, AJ Armstrong's family members walked out of the courtroom after the verdict was read with tears in their eyes. His wife walking visibly emotional, other relatives as well. Nobody wanted to speak to the media, but their defense attorney, the lead defense attorney, Rick Toto, did speak to us. He admits 7 years after he first got started working with AJ, he still supports AJ Armstrong, but this is a difficult day.
So to have this result after 7 years is a tough pill to swallow, but we will not ever stop fighting for AJ. I've said this many times. We'll be here always for him, and his family is as strong as they could be, and they will not stop fighting for AJ. They will continue through an appeal and whatever comes after that.
So AJ's legal team has already filed a notice for an appeal. An appeal is expected, but Rick Toto will not be doing that appeal because appellate law is so different than trial law, and it will not have an immediate resolution. So for now, AJ Armstrong is a convicted murderer, convicted of killing his parents, an incident that happened 7 long years ago, and he is on his way to prison. We're live downtown. Maya Shea, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Maya, thank you. Well, we have certainly been tracking AJ Armstrong's case for the past 7 years, as Maya mentioned, and you can find the complete timeline of the court case on abc13.com.
You can also watch various interviews with his family members, including his grandmother. It's all right there on abc13.com.
All right, so there's that. So obviously he has been fighting this case for a while, right? I think after the first 2 mistrials, he might have thought that things were going to go his way. Obviously the prosecutors are never going to stop fighting it, as far as they can. But he might have thought he was going to get away with it, for a third time, or not get away with it, but he might have thought that he was going to get a jury to fall for whatever shenanigans. All right, sorry guys. I'm gonna put the audio of the interrogation now, and we'll just kind of be looking at that picture and listening in on it. All right, so make sure you guys put your listening ears on. This is him being interrogated by the Houston Police Department, and let's see, do these details add up? Yeah, almost a decade trying to get him, to go to prison. Yeah, I'm going to be doing stories from all over the time spectrum. Like, I'm definitely going to try and, because he probably figures, out of best 3 out of 4, that he might get another hung jury or something if he's able to overturn that conviction. But I doubt it, honestly. Like, I think the way it was done this time was better first couple times. So there was some controversy that we're gonna hear about in this case. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing stories all over the spectrum. So it's not just gonna be newer ones. Like, the new ones will be good. But the thing about news and cases like this is that time tells all, right? As time goes on, as trials happen, as more evidence comes out and things like that, the cases start to evolve and develop. So I'll be going all over the timeline with these different stories. So let's listen to his interrogation with the Houston Police Department. All right, so please do me a favor and hit the like button. Hey, Shiesty Bum. You got the ski mask on right now. Nice to see you. I just wish he stayed stronger and worked instead of doing evil. Honestly, the kid had a crazy history. He had been kicked out of so many private schools, it wasn't even funny. But let's listen to his interrogation with the Houston Police Department.
Case number is 968-487-16. My name is Sergeant Dagnall. I'm here with the Houston Police Department. This is Jimmy Dodson. I think you've already talked to him. I talked to you. Okay, and just a little bit of information for you. What's your first name?
Antonio.
Antonio. Okay, what's your middle name?
Donnell.
Donnell. Just one L?
Yeah, no, 2 L's, I think.
2 L's? Okay.
This is sad.
What's your last name? Armstrong?
Yes, sir.
Common spelling. What's your date of birth?
11/16/1999.
So you're 16?
Yes, sir.
1999.
Yes, sir.
Oh boy, not a Gen Z. Not a Gen Z. Wow.
You are a junior. Okay. 11th grade. What school do you go to? Or what school were you attending?
I transferred from Kincaid. Now I'm going to Lamar.
Okay, so the 10th grade you did Kincaid.
I went to Kincaid, yes, sir.
Okay, 10th grade Kincaid. And the 11th grade you're going to go to Lamar.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any summer school or anything like that? No summer sports or anything like that?
I've just been playing. At Lamar, at Kincaid too. We have summer workouts, so that's basically what I've been doing. Just 9 to 11 every day.
Okay. Well, I mean, ultimately we're here. We got to, we need to sit down and talk to you, figure what happened today, what's been going on. How was your relationship with your parents in general?
It was a pretty good relationship.
Okay. You get along with your mom, get along with dad, no problems, no
me
issues.
and dad were really close. And then me and my mom, me, my brother and my sister had our little issues with my mom, but it was never anything serious. It was just family stuff. But we were all really close, so it's
And what about dad?
Dad was the go-to for everything. So.
Any recent problems, any issues between you and him or anything like that?
No. My dad's a pretty chill guy. Likes to just talk things out. So any problem that we did have, we just talked about it.
Okay. And it's just in the house. It's you, your mom,
my dad, and my little sister.
Your little sister.
Right.
Do you know what your dad's date of birth is?
I know he was born October 15th, I know my mom was born in 1974, so I think it may be 74 because I know he's 42.
What about your mom's birth? What about her day and month?
My mom's birthday is February 17th, 1974.
Okay, so it's 2/17/74.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what's mom's name?
Don Armstrong.
Okay, and dad's your
Antonio.
Yeah, because you're junior, correct? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then what's your sister's name?
Kayra Armstrong.
Kayra?
Yeah.
Okay. And she's 12. And now you have an older brother that doesn't live there?
No, he does not. He just moved. He was going to Berlin, and he just moved back like 3 weeks ago. He's going to the Art Institute now, and he lives in those apartments. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, being deleted by your junior, nasty work. Nasty work. Now, that's not to say that just because you're named Junior, that father was perfect. Like, there's a lot of complicated issues, but he just talked about 2 high schools just between 10th and 11th grade. And as far as I know, his parents mentioned he had been moving school since like middle school. He had a lot of behavioral issues.
our house is here, and when you come out and make that left on Maple Ridge, he lives in those apartment complexes right there.
Okay, so right around the corner.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
Okay, right around the
His
corner.
house, yeah.
Now, how is his relationship with everybody in the family?
I mean, he's really like me. Him and my dad are like a really close group. Like we sit down and talk a lot. And then him and my mom are like identical people. Like their personalities are the same, so they're close. And then me and him are just like have a really close brother relationship. And then my little sister like loves him.
Okay. And you said he was off the blend. He just recently moved
Yes.
back. Is he staying back or is he?
He's staying. He's
Okay.
staying, yeah.
Oh, you said he transferred schools.
Yes.
Okay. So we got to get down to what what
Right.
kind of happened today. What we got questions. We got things we got to discuss. There's some of them they're not easy, but I mean it's tough questions for us to ask and it's tough questions for you to answer. So that being said, I mean, how did today kind of start? I mean, starting out in the morning. Yeah, from the morning. What time did you get up?
So it was Friday. I didn't wake up, I don't know, until like 10, 11 o'clock. And I stayed in my room all day and just watched Netflix. My parents were like gone. Like they were in and out of the house. My dad works from home a lot now ever since he hurt his knee. So he's been working at home a lot. And my mom's just in and out. She was mainly at our Bel Air gym like the whole day. And then she came back and it was like she came back around 5 and it was me, my dad, and her. And then my mom and dad got dressed and they went to one of my dad's friends' events that he had. So they were gone till like 8. And then when they got back, I went to go pick up my little sister from my grandmother's house. And we came back. We got back to the house at like 9 or 10. And then my little sister, I think she went straight to bed. My parents were laying in their bed. I don't know what they were doing. And I was just upstairs just watching Netflix still. And then it was like probably 1 or 2 and I was still up. And I was like, I turned off my TV. I was getting ready to go to bed and I went to the restroom. And when I came out, I heard the door open. And I haven't been feeling well like this whole day. So I've just been at home. And I thought it was my parents. So I like walked downstairs. So I was going to ask if I can get some medicine. And like as I was walking downstairs, that's when I heard the 2 gunshots go off. And I ran back upstairs. And then when I ran back upstairs, I heard somebody run out of my parents' room and like hit the door. And then I don't know how they got out. I don't know because if they would have went out one of the doors, our alarm would have went off. So like my only guess is they had to have gone through a window because those don't go off with our alarm system. Like it's not like connected. And after I ran back upstairs, I went into my closet and that's when I called 911 and like I had the phone call. And when the cops showed up, the lady told me to go downstairs. And I was like, I have a little sister here. I need to get her. And I went to my sister's room. I woke her up. And then me and her both walked downstairs, like let the cops know that it's not like it's just us. Like we're not armed or anything like that. And they walked us outside. And that's when I called my brother because he lives like right up the street. And him and my cousin, they both showed up. And I
Who's your cousin?
Trenton.
Trenton?
Trenton.
Okay, Trenton. Okay, and he's your cousin?
Yeah.
Now, this is one that I would have loved to see video. Like, I know that sounds like, oh, why would you love that? But I would have loved to see video because you could almost bet your bottom dollar, right, that his eyes were darting all over the room, right, that he was fidgety, that he was looking all over, like looking guilty in the face. I definitely believe there was a lot of body like facial cues and things like that. Now, he was also extremely calm for somebody who just lost both of his parents. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed that. He does kind of have like a Chad Brad type of voice, right? Chad could be any color, so I'm not making it racial, but he has like a Chad type of voice. So he's like, oh yeah, like me and my parents, we're so close. Like everybody in my family is close. Like we're all just like so cool. We have like the most close, amazing relationships. Like my dad, he's my rock. Like he sounds like emotionless about it all. His parents just passed away, so you would think there would be some level of emotion or like frustration or something like he maintains a very flat affect, and I hope they're not missing something, but his affect is very, very flat. Who's Chad Brad? You guys all know what Chad Brad goes out.
Yes. And on whose side? Mom's dad? What's his last name? Do you guys
Teamer. I don't know his full name. I know his last name is Teamer though.
Teamer?
Teamer.
Oh, okay. Like team, but you are. Okay. And he showed up with your brother.
Yeah, because him and my brother are like super close. So they stay. So they like sometimes he'll stay at his house after he's done with work or something like that. And they both showed up. And then after they showed up, my brother like ran over because he was confused. Like he didn't understand my phone call. Like he thought it was a joke or something. So when he showed up, he didn't understand what was happening. The cops were trying to just like understand like what just happened. They were trying to talk to me separately and also talk to my sister. And I told him, I was like, my sister was asleep. She has like no idea what happened. I just went down there and woke her up. And then I explained to the cop like what I saw. And like I just like personally felt bad because like I saw the guy. Like I feel like I should have done something, but I mean,
well, did you physically see somebody, or
no? Like I saw him running.
Okay, but then you would have seen him go out a window or out a door or something.
No, because when like you've been into the house, so it's like my parents' room's here, and then you'd have like it's when you come out of my parents' room, you go.
So notice that he said, "I saw the guy." Right? I saw the guy
this way. And like this window, it's impossible. Like that window's impossible to get out of.
Second floor too.
Yeah, second floor. So either he would have had to have gone like this way and then gone over there by my sister's room, or he'd have to gone downstairs and out through one of the first floor windows.
Okay. Okay, and then you said from you were upstairs and you heard a door.
Right.
Which door?
My parents' first door.
The first door in the room.
Because normally my parents
which goes into the study.
Yes.
Okay.
My parents like keep their doors locked at night, and they like we're not like in there or allowed in there at night. So like when I heard the door open, like normally it's like my dad or my mom getting up to like go get a snack or something, go get water. And like that's what I thought it was. So when I went down there, I was like really confused when I heard the gunshot.
So when you hear the door, how long was it from the time you heard the door to the time you started going down the stairs?
When I heard the door, that's when I started walking downstairs.
Okay, so you already go.
Yeah, I was already leaving my bath. Have you been in my room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was already leaving my bathroom, and that's when I heard the door. So I just kept making my way.
Your bed's there, so you go around your bed.
I went around my bed, and then I was making my way down the stairs, and that's when I heard the gunshots. When I got like 4 or 5 stairs down, and I like looked.
Do you know how many you heard? How many you heard?
I mean, I think I heard 2, but it may have been 3. I'm not really like 100% positive, but like I know it's 2 or 3, and then that's when I came down and I like kind of looked because you know how like it has it goes down, like you can peep real quick and see like what's like going on from my stairs. And like I saw someone like coming out. So I just took off back upstairs and went straight to my closet. And that's when I called.
Okay. So when you see them, you only seen them coming out of the room.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how long did you stay there the whole time?
In the closet?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in my closet the whole time with the door shut.
Okay. And then they run out. Did you hear any chimes or anything else?
Anything.
Okay. Now, the person that you seen, I mean, what did he look like? Is it he or she? Or?
It was definitely a guy. It wasn't a girl. There wasn't like long hair or anything like that. I mean, they had it was like a mask, and like you could only see the eyes and the mouth. But he looked like a black guy. Mm-hmm. But I'm not like 100% positive. But I'm pretty sure it was an African American, and like I'd say like 6 feet maybe, somewhere around there. I couldn't give you like age range. I didn't really like get to see his face or anything like that.
And then from there, you stayed in there until you actually came out?
Yeah, until the lady on the phone was like, yeah, you can come outside. The cops are there.
Okay.
So that's when I went and got my sister, and then we both walked downstairs.
Okay. Now, that being said, there's certain things that, that we also know and have.
Right.
Does your dad own a gun?
Yes, he does.
How many guns does he own?
He owns one.
One gun. Do you know what kind of gun it is?
I just know it's like a pistol. I think it's a 22, but I'm not like 100% positive. Like only time I've ever like used it was when we went to the gun range when I was like 8 years old or something like that. But like that's about it. And I know he has his case in one of his drawers, and like my dad, his drawers, the closet, and under the bed is like off limits. So like, I've never gone in there or like seen it or anything like that, except for when he brings it out. So like I don't know where he was keeping the gun at the time, but I know he keeps it in one of those 3 places.
Okay, so possibly a case in the drawer or somewhere in the closet.
Right.
Okay, and that's where you a 22. You think it's a 22?
I think it's a 22.
What color is it?
Black.
Black. Is it a revolver, automatic? You know the difference between the two? Revolver, they have the cylinder that turns.
Oh, it's not a revolver. It's definitely
like a clip that goes in it.
Yeah, a clip that goes in it, and then like you like flick the safety, and then you fire.
Okay. And you said it's black. Do you know what brand it is or anything like that?
I have no clue.
No clue. Okay. Okay. Ultimately, you know there's something bad happened.
Right.
But ultimately, we got to kind of get to it because, I hear everything you're saying.
Right.
And ultimately, there are some issues. And I'd be lying to you if I didn't tell you there was some issues. And we kind of got to go over and kind of get to the bottom of what's going on.
Exactly.
Ultimately, you're out there. They swabbed your hand.
Right.
So ultimately, if you fired a gun, even if you wash your hands, it's going to show. It's going to show.
Right.
So if there was something more, something different that happened, this is kind of the time to talk about it. Regardless of what your relationship with your dad, if it's good or if it's not so good, and and you just don't feel comfortable talking about it, that's a whole separate issue.
Right.
Ultimately, we need to figure out what's going to happen, what happened today.
Exactly.
And there's 2 ways. I mean, it's going to be either, you telling us exactly what happened. And if this is what it is, then that's what it is. But
right.
Ultimately, if it's something different, it's you telling us what happened. And then ultimately, everything would match up. If you didn't fire a gun, there wouldn't be any gunshot residue on your hands. And all this stuff would start matching up. When you start having inconsistencies, it starts making it tough. And then ultimately, this is kind of the time to discuss it and get it out. It's, if you're familiar, a man is only good as his word.
Right.
So ultimately, if you're here and you're telling us this is what happened, this is my word, I'm not lying, I'm telling the truth. And then then things start coming up down the road, like a kid coming back saying that this happened or that happened. Then when we sit down, it's a different conversation.
Exactly.
And at that time, you really can't go back and say, well, this is what happened. Because now we're at a loss of trust.
Right.
And again, we got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things that we know, and we want to hear your side of it before we start kind of getting into that, so you understand. So again, if there's something different, this is the time. Hey, we're at the police department, bad things have happened, and ultimately this is kind of the time to talk about it.
Exactly.
Not later, not another time, because I mean, if anything, it's for them. This is. They don't have a word in this at this point in time. Okay. Last we heard, your dad is still in the hospital. Your mom didn't make it. Okay. So it's a bad thing. So you understand the seriousness of this. Okay. So that's why.
So that gives you context, right? This is right after it happened. Mom and dad just passed. Mom just passed away. Dad was in the hospital, still in life-threatening condition, and they were trying to, see if he would pull through, right? So his parents weren't both deceased yet, but damn near. The mom was gone, dad was, and he was just so calm and relaxed. His parents were shot, and his mom had passed away. Yeah, he's super relaxed. You notice he's recounting their relationship with his dad, just kind of like in a very dismissive, like, oh, we have a really good relationship, just sort of not really taking into account everything that just happened. He knows what just happened, but he's telling it sort of in a cold way. And I think this is kind of what was catching a lot of people off guard, as well as the fact that there was evidence that was kind of contradicting what he was saying.
We need to know what happened. Gunshot residue. Like I said, even if you wash your hand in that close proximity. Okay. So that being said, is there anything different?
Nothing different.
Okay.
That's the story.
Okay. Now, ultimately, when we're in the study that leads to your dad's room,
Right.
in there, when you look up, there's a bullet hole in the ceiling that comes from the loft, which
There's
is
a
your
bullet
bedroom.
hole in the ceiling.
It comes through the floor from the loft, from your room upstairs.
Yeah.
Where your room
on
is.
The third floor.
Yeah.
There's a bullet hole in the ceiling.
There's a bullet hole in the study area that goes through, and you can see that it comes through because it pushes out
Right.
in the study
I've
area.
never seen that.
They use a trajectory rod too.
Yeah, and they use the trajectory. They have the rod. They use a rod. They put it in there, see what
Right.
the angle is.
Right.
And then on the floor, there's an actual bullet that was actually fired.
How long has that been there?
Well, that's why we're talking to you, because there's fresh sheetrock on the floor.
Right.
So, and that's kind of what we're getting at. There's things out there that we're trying to figure out how this has happened. If there's 2 gunshots or 4 gunshots,
right?
How do we have one that's coming from the room upstairs, and then we've got other ones in there?
I can explain the gun from the room upstairs. It was like I think it was 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. Like me and one of my friends was just like playing around, and they were about to leave, and he was like, "Hey, well, not really. He was like me. I was like, "Hey, like, have you ever shot a gun before?" And they were like, "Nah, I've never done it." And I was like, "You want me to show you how to?" And like, I like went and checked the 3 places, and the gun was under my dad's bed, and I like laid the pillow. I laid my pillow, and then like a blanket over it and a blanket under it, thinking like that would stop it, but I guess it did not stop it.
Yeah. Now, see, and that kind of goes back to what we were saying just a minute ago. Because a few minutes ago you said that you haven't seen it, you haven't shot it since you were a kid, and then now we kind of give you a little more, and then it's like, oh, wait a minute. So,
I understand.
We don't want to keep getting deeper into this because there's more. I mean, that's the thing is, and ultimately, if the gun was fired tonight, again, the GSR test is going to show it.
Exactly.
So to say that you didn't, or it was fired.
I didn't fire it tonight.
No.
Last time I fired it was like 2-3 weeks ago, and I put a. I guess my parents just never saw that, because I mean that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But ultimately, that's what I'm saying. Is even if you wash your hands, whatever you have, it's still going to show.
Right.
Okay. So that's why I'm saying is
something from like 3 weeks ago. You think?
No.
Oh,
you fired a gun tonight.
No,
there's whether it's up in the room or whether it's in, it's going to show that's there.
Exactly.
Ultimately, so or let's just say there was somebody else in the house with you. If that's the case, we need to know. Somebody we need to talk to.
Yeah, Jonesy, he talks about not seeing the gun, but then he knows the 3 places that it would be, right? And then he just so happened to pick the gun up and shoot through his parents' wall, and somehow they weren't alerted to this 3 weeks prior, right? And then he's asking, well, you guys would have gunpowder from weeks ago? Well, no, but if you fired today, they would, right? Today they would. But he's trying to even throw the idea out there that there could be gunpowder on his hand from when he fired weeks ago. But that's not how it works. That's not how it works. And now, for me, this would be why he's trying to act so cool, calm, and collected, right? He can't grieve or pretend to grieve because he's trying to focus on the details to prove that he wasn't the deleter, okay? And notice the first video that we saw, there was no evidence of forced entry, right? There was literally no point in their very secure, wealthy home that somebody could have came in that the police wouldn't see. So either he covered up for the deleter or he is the deleter, right? There's no other answer there, right? Who else in the house? At one point, we're finding out he had pew-pewed the weapon through his floor into his parents. Was he testing? Somebody mentioned that in the chat. Was he practicing? Right? Was this something more calculated? The fact that he's calm, that for me is like he's trying to get the details correct. And he doesn't realize that his affect is off. So he could have some type of, I'm not trying to give him a mental illness out, but he could be somebody who lacks empathy. right? He could be psychopathic. That's what it's giving, but I don't know.
But again, we've already went to the, hey, I haven't seen it, haven't fired it since I was little, and I don't know where he keeps it. We don't go there. It's off limits, so I don't go in there. To, okay, I went in there. To, yeah, we were up there and we fired a gun. We put the towel, we put the blanket, and all that stuff. So you kind of see how where we're going.
And that's like the only like.
No, I know,
Yeah,
but
I understand. Where
I just don't want it to be more like, wow, and now there's gunshot residue on his hands or on his clothing.
There won't be any
or on the
gunshot
clothing
residue on
or,
my hand or anything like that.
or something like that.
Right.
Or let's say Dad makes it, and Dad's able to say, hey, this is what's going on. This is what happened.
Right.
You know, it's just anything can happen at this point.
I know.
But that's I mean, there's actual flakes on the ground from where the bullet went through. So
Right.
it's not like it's just a hole and it could have been done. We found the bullet that was fired.
Right.
So it's kind of one of those things where it kind of would show more recently, you know, like we happen to see it.
Yeah.
I
don't know how my parents haven't seen that. Like,
Yeah.
because they go in and out of that room a lot. So like, I don't know how you don't see a bullet on the ground.
Yeah.
But
And
outside of that, like 2-3 weeks, I've never like touched my dad. Like last night, I didn't touch my dad's gun.
Yeah. Okay. And ultimately, you know, the gun is still in the house.
Right.
Okay. So it's on the kitchen counter. So it's one of those things where if somebody's running out of the house, there's no time to
put it on the kitchen counter.
Put it on the
Right.
counter, and there's even like a little paper where there's some scribbling on it. So there's not really a lot of time if you're running out of the house, jumping out of a window to go put the gun there and then write a note. So you see, that's why when you say, hey, he ran out, jumped out of a window, he didn't go out of a door, because if he doesn't know you're there or whatever it might be.
I'm assuming that's what it is. I was on the third
No,
floor. I don't know what
understand.
happened.
Well,
on
the
first
doors
floor.
were all locked.
Right,
Even when we got there, the doors were locked. You had to unlock the door to come out.
My dad locked all the doors.
You had to unlock the door to get out. The back door's locked. Everything's locked.
Right.
So if somebody's in the house, it's just you and your sister, where are they at?
Exactly.
And, you know, and if they're running out and they're jumping out of a window, I mean, there's no blinds messed up. There's nothing that shows somebody went out of a window. And the gun is placed on the counter with a paper and a pen with some scribbling. There's the time.
Yeah, I understand.
If you're rushing out.
Doesn't seem
So,
right.
I mean, that's one of those.
I don't know like exactly what happened from the time when he came out of the room to when he left, because like as soon as I saw him, I was gone upstairs. So I don't know exactly what happened with him. I'm just saying I'm assuming that's how he got out, because I don't know any other way to get out of our house.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I didn't personally touch the gun. Like I know there's no gun residue on my hand or on my clothes or anything like that. So I know it has nothing to do with me. I just don't understand. I don't understand how he got out or even how he got in.
Yeah.
Did you deactivate the alarm before you unlocked the door for the officers?
Yes.
And you see, and that's kind of where we're at, that dilemma where, you know, it's a lot of stuff, several things that aren't lining up,
right?
You know, and then we already kind of started off on a note where, you know, there's, oh, I've never touched it to this. So, I mean, these are some serious issues to get around. I mean, you know, you got somebody running out, you know, if you're going up the stairs and you hear a gunshot, you run out, it's stairs. They're going to hear somebody running. They're going to hear, they're not going to not hear you. So there's not going to be like, oh, nobody knows I'm here and I got time to do this and do that, you know, and the scribbling on the paper didn't take just a second, you know, and all that stuff is, it's able to be matched. Handwriting, the way people write, the angles and stuff like that. So if, let's say it was you that wrote it, they're going to be able to take some form of writing from you somewhere and say, wow, that's the way he writes this letter or that letter, you know, so there's things there. And ultimately, the last thing I want to happen is for all this stuff to come out and confirm that there was something more to happen. And then you try to come in and explain, hey, look, me and Dad had a blowout. This is what was going on. I lost my cool. And this is how it played out. You know, there's a time in your life, even at 16, when you have to man up and accept responsibility for doing something wrong, losing your cool, whatever it is. Okay. And we're kind of at that point now where there's quite a few inconsistencies that we're having trouble getting around. And, you know, hey, I can't imagine somebody firing around, jumping out of a window, leaving a gun in a certain spot, writing a note, all in this short amount of time.
Exactly.
You know, and then not having a plausible way to exit the house.
Right.
So all of that kind of makes me think that it had to have been somebody within the house. You know, in the house, it's you, your mom, your dad, and your sister.
Right.
And sister's sleeping. You're awake. Mom and dad are sleeping.
It does not look good at all.
And there's a bullet hole in the roof from your room.
Right.
So it shows that you've had access to the gun in the past, or have access to it, period. Like, you know where it's at.
Right.
You know, if dad doesn't check every day to see if his gun's there, you could have it, he wouldn't know it.
Exactly.
Or if you went in there and he was a sound sleeper and were able to get the gun, it changes things. But like I said, this is kind of the time to clear it up. I mean, they don't have a voice in this. Maybe dad will. But ultimately, you know, the last thing you want is for so much to come out later, and then you want to explain. You want to say, hey, look, this is what happened. This is from me. This is how I feel. This is how I was feeling at that time. But the longer you let it go on, it gets worse. And then it also looks like, you know, did you just not care? You know, it's just, there's a lot of things there. You know, things can go bad. You can care about somebody and just lose control and have some problems or issues, and things get out of control, and then something happens.
Right.
You know, but if that's the case, we want to know what happened. What were you thinking? What was going on? What led up to it? Because, hey, you got a sister. She deserves to know what happened.
Exactly.
You know, you got an older brother. You know, your dad's got a mom. Mom's got a mom. Mom's got a dad. Dad's got a dad. Everybody wants to know what happened. You know, and ultimately, the people in the house are the only ones that can clear that up. And like I said, there comes a time in your life where you got to man up, and if you made a mistake. And I'm telling you like this because I feel like something more has happened. I'd be lying to you. And I'm not trying to lie to you and tell you that I don't feel that more has happened, that there might be something going on. And I know this is a scary situation. You're brought in front of a judge. You're given, you know, your warning, and you're brought here to a police station, and yet you're here, and we're talking to you. I know it's a tough situation. Right. And I understand if you're also somewhat scared. But, hey, what's done is done. And at this point, we have to know what happened. And I honestly don't buy that somebody was able to rush out the house, place a gun, write a note. You know, if it wasn't something where you were involved, then you know who is, and they were in the house, and you know it. Right. But ultimately, you know, if that's the case, we need to know, because we need to talk to that person. And if it wasn't, then we need to know, because if we talk to that person and they weren't there, then they're gonna tell us what happened. Right. But like I said, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I feel like something more has happened. Okay. And again, I don't want to have the scenarios where here I am in a couple of weeks saying, Antonio, this happened, that happened. Your phone, we have your phone, your messages, text messages, whatever, between you and dad showing that you were mad at him or something like that. Or we talk to a family member that says, yeah, you know, him and dad hasn't been getting along very good. And you're sitting here saying, hey, everything's great. You know, that's all part of the way we investigate things. That's how we get to the bottom of things, is by using our resources.
All right, so I can tell you now, there's like nothing that will come back that it's on me. There will be no gunpowder. There's my fingerprints on, nothing like that will come back on me. I had nothing to do with this.
Okay. Now, but you understand where I'm coming from.
I understand where you come from. Because when I explained it to my brother, he thought the exact same thing. So like he thought there's something missing. But I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. So was there anybody else in the house with you?
It was just me. Unless somebody was in the house when me, my parents, and my little sister all weren't there, and they were just there the whole time. That's like outside.
How would they have gotten out of the house without?
I don't see. Yeah, I don't know.
There's no way out of the house. There was no disturbed windows. All the windows were closed. Right. The alarm set. I mean, you know.
I mean, it's almost like the person would have to still be in the house.
All right.
And we cleared the whole house.
And we went through the whole house, even the attic, closet, and all that stuff. So, I mean, and then you have like the note written there, and it's just. So, I mean, we have all that stuff, and it's kind of like, well, you know what happened? And I mean, ultimately, it points to somebody in the house, and there's no way for, you know, mom to have done it or dad to have done it and have the gun downstairs. Yeah. So it means it had to have been somebody other than them.
Right.
And sister was sleeping.
Exactly.
I mean, and we've even swabbed her hands for gunshot residue to see if there's any chance where she might, you know, have fired a gun, and then we'll know. And then,
you know, this makes me think yes, he's a young man. You got to think about it. Too good to be true. He's a young man to be knowing about residue, evidence, gunpowder. All like he's too young to be thinking about that. So you have to ask yourself, why is he so confident that he don't have? I don't know. I'm not gonna have no gunpowder residue on me. Right? It could be perceived as innocent, but he's too young to even conceptualize that. I personally think that he was trying to mask the fact that he probably had on some type of gear or whatever that he can just throw away or flush or something that was covering him. I believe he had gloves on. I believe he had maybe other masks. Yeah, he's naive, you know. I believe that he probably he might have had some type of protection where he was like, you know what, this is it. I'm gonna be completely covered and I'm gonna be good. And so he just felt confident. Again, this is right after, right, and deletes his parents, and he and his sister come out of the house, for having survived this home invader who deleted his parents.
And ultimately, we have a bullet hole that shows that you've been handling the gun.
I can think when you guys checked the gunshot residue from last night from me and my sister, both of us won't have any. I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Now you also have clothes up there and all that stuff. I mean, ultimately, it could show up on clothes. It could show up on a lot of things. So I mean, it's not just limited to your hands.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where somebody's wearing a glove. It doesn't mean it's not on a shirt or it's not on something else.
Right.
That's at the house. So there's things there.
Right.
So again, I mean, if there's a remote chance, it's gonna show. There's no
chance it points back to me in any way.
So was there somebody else in the house? I mean, literally, you have to.
I don't personally understand it either because I know, personally with me, I had nothing to do with it, so it doesn't make sense to me either.
And then to kind of forward to 911. I mean, I called our dispatcher and I asked, hey, we need to listen to the tape where you called 911.
Right.
And about 7 minutes into it, he said, "This is your fault. This is your fault." So I mean, something like that.
No, this is my fault was at the point where when I saw and I didn't do anything about it. That's what I was saying. Because when I came outside,
you said it's all my fault. It's all my fault.
Well, I mean, I felt like I could have done something.
Yeah, but that's a little bit different than it's all my fault.
That's the exact same thing I said when I walked outside to the police.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to give you just as much as I can to let you understand how serious it is and how many inconsistencies. It's not like we have just one.
Right.
Or two, or three, but there's some inconsistencies. And, again, between somebody not being able to leave the house, 911,
I understand. But it has nothing to do.
And that's a plausible theory, right? Too good to be true. He could have let a person in and out. He very well could have got away with that. Especially somebody who was, a nobody that they could easily be, slip in and out. He could have very well done that, right? Just to keep the gunshot powder, whatever, any physical evidence off of himself. I believe he could have done that. This is why it would have stayed quiet. Yeah, I believe he had an attorney though, and again, he's trying to act like he was innocent. So only somebody guilty would not want to talk to the police or not want to give any type of statement. And I think, he just thought he was so brilliant. He thought he was going to be able to talk his way out of this little valley boy. Yeah, he said, it's all my fault. Yeah, there was a lot of things, because you could try to play it off, but certain things are going to be present. This is why I believe if they would have videotaped him being interrogated the first time, we would have seen a lot because that's right after the crime happened. So, criminal or not, there's going to be some things that are going to slip. There's some things that we're going to see there in his personality and all that. But unfortunately, they only had audio. Now, the bandit is such a confident bandit, so he did a jailhouse interview about a year ago or 2 years ago, I think, that we're going to look at after we listen to some more of this audio. So let's get into the rest of this. Again, this is his initial statement before his father even passed away. So we know this is right after this happened. And then we're going to get into, like I said, his jailhouse interview.
To do with me. Like, I promise when you get the results back from whatever, like, y'all doing, it has nothing to do with me.
Let me ask you this then, Antonio. You keep saying it doesn't have anything to do with me, and you're positive you're not going to have any gunshot residue on you. Do you know who has something to do with it?
No.
You don't have any idea?
I don't have any idea. I have no idea who would want my parents dead. Like, okay. My parents don't have enemies or anything like that. Okay. Like, my parents are pretty well-liked people.
Mm-hmm. So then, because part of our job is we've got to think kind of on both sides of the fence. We got to think like police officers. We got to think like criminals. We got to think like husbands and fathers. Right. So let me ask you this: if I'm a criminal and I'm going to come into your home and I'm going to shoot 2 people, but I'm not only going to do it, but I'm going to do it with the gun that owns the owner of the home owns.
Right.
Okay. So I've got to have intimate knowledge of where that gun is stored because your dad's a big guy.
Right.
I'm not tiptoeing around that house with an ex-Miami Dolphin football player potentially waking up and coming and putting the beat down on me. It's not going to happen.
Exactly.
I'm not an idiot. Most criminals, while yes, they can be, they're not idiots when it comes to that kind of thing. They know how to avoid a butt whooping. Secondly, I'm going to get into a house that's got an alarm system turned on, all doors secured with deadbolt locks, okay, without anybody knowing or without setting alarm off. We're going to be able to subpoena the alarm company just to double check and verify that no alarms went off during the course of time that these events occurred. We're going to be able to identify when you set the alarm and when the alarm was deactivated. So we'll know that time frame as well. No windows are disturbed in the home.
Right.
No screens, no blinds, no nothing. Really nothing in the home is disturbed outside of what happened in your parents' bedroom and in the kitchen. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And even in the kitchen's not disturbed. Just a couple of drawers were open. That's it.
All right.
Because we're writing, like he was saying, the note and the gun and all that. So you've got these 3 pretty personal kind of things that someone has to know to be able to get into your home unnoticed, find your dad's gun, not even bring their own, which most criminals bring their own because you don't go into someone's house with the intent to harm them and then start looking for weapons. And if you do, it's usually a kitchen knife. You're not going to go looking for, you're not going to go, mulling around for a gun. So you've got these 3 things laying out in front of you. As a criminal, how do you accomplish that?
I have no clue.
You don't. They're impossible, right? I mean, I don't care if your parents are the hardest sleepers in the world. Someone rifling around in your dad's nightstand, which is right next to where he's sleeping,
or in the closet,
exactly
where he's facing. We know which way your dad was sleeping. You're sleeping on his left side, facing the wall, which is right where that gun's going to be. So if I'm in there rifling around, you think daddy's going to wake up and whoop someone's behind?
He will.
He will, right? You think mama's going to wake up? I mean, mamas are light sleepers usually because they're always worried about their babies. I got a 7-week-old at home. My wife, man, if you blink an eye, she wakes up right now. That's what mamas do. Okay. So I've got 2 parents in a room where a gun is kept. I've got you telling me that. Your sisters told me that's where the gun's kept. So we know this.
Exactly.
So how does a bad guy get in and get the gun?
I don't know. Honestly.
I mean, did your sister do this?
No.
Is it on Cairo? Is that what it's on?
No. I wish like I had it like how this happened or what exactly. I can't.
Antonio, here's the deal, man. I can't let you get away with that. Like, I can't.
You
know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, like, just being man to man here. Like, there's 4 people in the house. The house is completely secured with locks and with an alarm system. Most of your other family members don't even know your parents own a weapon, which means that's very intimate knowledge that your dad doesn't go out there spreading around with people. If he's not telling his family members, he's not just telling strangers on the street corner that he's got a gun.
Exactly.
And at that, obviously he's not a big gun advocate. He's got 1 pistol and it's a 22. Gun advocates are going to have things like 40s and 45s. And so he's got 1 gun, and he's not going to tell the whole world about it. So really only 5 people in the world know about it. Your mom, your dad, you, your brother, and your sister. Your brother Josh isn't even there. He's down the street at his place. Okay? I've talked to his girlfriend. He was there with her at the time of this. So I've not marked him off my list. I know Mama didn't do it, obviously, unfortunately. I know Daddy didn't do it. Because there's no blood trail from the bedroom to where the gun is. It's clean. Scott clean. So that only leaves you and your sister. No one else got in that house tonight, Antonio. No one else got in that house, man. I mean, I don't
like.
Did Casper come in and do it?
No, because I don't. Because I know it has absolutely like nothing. Like I didn't do it.
Trap door somewhere?
I don't know because I didn't do it. Like there's no. I have nothing to do with this at all.
The only thing that I can think of is that another option is if you do know who did it and they were in the house and you let them out and you just don't want to say who it was.
Well, I mean, if I let them out, then that would like show though, right? Like that would.
If you undid the alarm, or if you opened the window and let them out yourself.
Well, I mean, the alarm was set when me and my sister got home, and it was like deactivated.
I know, but I'm saying is,
I understand.
It's not. The thing is that let's just say somebody does manage to get in your house, get to your dad's gun, shoot your mom and your dad, and then run out of the house. Is that person gonna stop? Take the time to write on a paper, leave the gun on the counter, nicely positioned, and then leave? Or are they just going to keep running with the gun in their hand?
Keep running with the gun in their hand.
Right. So, I mean, obviously they're walking him down to let him know, like, how improbable his story is. Right? The only way somebody got into that home that they saw tonight would be if he let them in. Right? If he opened that window or unlocked the door, which he very well could have done. Which again, I don't remember exactly if there was no physical evidence on him, but again, he shot through the roof. There's no proof that was a week ago. There was other evidence in the house, but I don't remember per se if there was evidence that on him. So we're gonna have to see that together. We're gonna have to refresh our memories today together. I'm gonna have Dr. Todd Grande walk us into it in a second, but I want to hear some more from his from his interrogation, because you really have to hear what he says, like his theory on it right after it happens, because this is before his father even officially passed away.
Exactly, and we don't have that, so we have a gun still in the house. So that's something else that just doesn't line up. And ultimately, what I think is you do know a lot more, whether it's somebody else in the house or whether it was you and you lost your cool and things happen, but ultimately, there's with the stuff that he's outlined and the things that we've outlined, there's no way. I mean, we just can't sit here and just allow you to let us think that we think that, or we can believe that.
Right.
Because it's not like we have one little thing that we have to work through. There's several things. And just like the bullet hole in the roof, if that did happen 3 weeks ago, it'll show. Because there gunshot residue and all that stuff, when it goes through the floor, all that stuff can be tested. It's going to say whether this gun was shot in the last day, 2 days, last hour, 3 hours. So if that's not true, it's going to be something else to come back and say, hey, you know what? Come to find out that bullet hole was that night, or was 2 hours prior, So again, I hate trying to explain this to you where you understand this is serious. I mean,
no, I understand.
And ultimately, I'm honestly telling you that you either know if it was somebody else, you either know who it was, they were in the house, and you let them out. That's one option. Or it's exactly what he said: is it maintained in the house? And it was either you, your sister, your mom, or your dad. There's just not enough time to do all those things. Even when somebody breaks into a house and somebody wakes up, they get out of that house in any way, shape, or mean. They're not worried about the alarm going off because what's done is done. They're just trying to get out. They're not worried about the alarm going off, or opening a window and then closing it and making sure that it was all nice. No, you have a expedited route of escape, okay, because it's done. Normally, you have more precautions going in, not going out, because if you want to break in and do something, you're going to be careful so you can achieve your goal or your objective. But once you achieve your objective, you don't care. You're getting out.
Right.
And we don't have that. So it kind of shows us everything was there. And like he said, I mean, it's hard for us to sit here knowing the things that we know and to have you tell us the things that you're telling us, knowing that it's just the math isn't adding up. I mean, we're talking about basic math. Okay. I mean, this is a tough scenario, but it goes back, man, this is the time we need to man up and we need to know what happened. If you and Dad got a little sideways today and you lost your cool, whatever it is, because, I mean, we've talked to Grandma and all that stuff, and they've said there's been some issues between you and Dad. It's not.
I mean, it's not okay. That like it's not. We had issues. It's more of a like. Okay, so I know you guys saw the black little thing on the carpet when you walk upstairs. Yeah, that I was like playing with matches and I dropped it. I dropped one and didn't realize it, and I just walked away. And then like the carpet set on fire, and then.
Oh, so he just had to mention, hey, I didn't really try to set my parents' house on fire, but it might have came across like I was. You know, a guilty mind, he went immediately to that because he knew those were instances where he had already came against his parents. You know, he was doing things against his parents. I think he's psychopathic. Someone mentioned that in the chat. I think he's psychopathic. You know, the callousness and the lack of empathy in his voice and mannerisms. You know, his parents are hanging on by a thread and he's just trying to get himself off the hook for a
My dad came and confronted me about it, and I was like, I don't know, because I was like, it's stupid that I was playing with matches. I can't just admit. I was like, I don't know. I had nothing to do with it. And like, I don't know, like my dad like took that personally. He was like, you like straight up like to my face. Like I told him the next day what actually happened, and he was like, you like straight up like to my face, just like lied to me, and like that, like it hit home with my dad. But I mean, like that day, like we talked about, like we've been fine. Like me and my dad, whenever we do have problems, like. We sit down and we talk about it and we solve it.
Yeah.
Like then.
But you understand when he confronted you and asked you, had you manned up and had you said, this is what I did. I messed up. I screwed up. It'd have been a whole different scenario, wouldn't it?
Right.
He'd looked at you different. The next time something came up and you told him, hey, Dad, this is what happened, you keep that trust. Once trust is lost, it is very hard and sometimes impossible to get back, you know, and that's what we're here because, you know, ultimately, you know, we talk to prosecutors, we talk to DAs and everything like that. And we're going to say, hey, this is what he laid out. And regardless of the amount of inconsistencies, he still gave us the same statement, which nothing matches. You know, and then let's just say all this and something comes back. One of the several tests and one of the several things, because they're still out there processing stuff. They're still collecting stuff. You know, there's no stone unturned, you know. So then we go back later and we say, well, all this came back with this, and this. Where are you at? It's
all the tests, all like it. I didn't do it myself. I don't know who did it. I don't know how that person got into our house. I don't know if. I don't even know like if it has something to do with my. I don't know how. I don't know like it could like I don't. I understand that like because I like my little sister's 12 years old. She obviously like doesn't like. I mean, she may not use a gun, but she doesn't have the ability to walk in my parents' room and shoot both of them.
Well, plus you said she was sleeping.
Yeah, and she was sleeping. And then I understand, like, it makes it seem like, well, you're the only other person. But, I mean, I know it personally has nothing to do with me. And I'm not, like, saying that my dad put a hit out on my mom and the dude, like, went bad and then shot my dad. Like, I'm not saying anything like that. But I don't, like...
You're still, there's your exit. There's no exit. Now, just think about this.
And we're gonna watch his jailhouse interview because I'm like so curious to see his face. I want to see him tell this story. You know, the interrogation a lot of times, even if you don't like can see their face clearly, their body language, their mannerisms and things while they're speaking, all of that. Those are things that not only the investigators pick up and are able to tell us and you know describe for us later, but like. You know, we can also sort of see some of that too. So this is mostly audio, but somebody mentioned he started stuttering at this point. he was stuttering at this point. There's no exit. There's no exit point. There's no way somebody could have gotten out. So, they're pressing him to understand, like, where would somebody have gone? He specifically said, I didn't do it myself.
It's you, your sister, your mom, and your dad. And everything shows us that it was something within the house, or it was somebody within the house that let the person in and let the person out. Those are your two scenarios. So the next conversation we have to have is going to be your sister with this same conversation. And she's going to say, I was sleeping. And we're going to tell her, well, your brother said he didn't do it, and you're the only other person. So now we're going to start pressing your sister about how this happened. Mm-hmm. It's not fair. It's not right if she's sleeping. But when we know that it either had to be one of those two scenarios where it was somebody within the house or somebody that was let into the house and let out, or vice versa. But you just don't have the time to have that happen, run out of a house, or stop, make a note, lay the gun out, and then leave in a manner that nobody knows, knowing that somebody was there when you did this. Right. Somebody that shoots somebody and knows that somebody's home, they're gone because their objective is complete. They want to get away.
All right. Or they're going to come upstairs and deal with you too.
Exactly.
They know you're there. They're not letting you. They don't want eyewitnesses.
I'm telling you, like, I understand this situation does not look good at all for me.
Well, it's not that it doesn't look. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. I understand that. But I'm telling you, I had nothing to. I didn't get anyone to do it, and I didn't do it. I maybe when my dad wakes up, just talk to him. Because it has nothing to do with me.
Let me ask you this: you made an interesting statement a minute ago about when you and your buddy were playing with your dad's gun 3 weeks ago, or whenever it was, 2-3 weeks ago. You said
he was gone by the time I was playing with it, but like we talked about it. That's like the conversation we had. But I was the one that like.
So you said that you fired it into a pillow. Where's that pillow? What kind of pillow was it?
It's in my closet.
It's in your closet.
Yeah.
Like you got like a bunch of doors in your room.
No, the closet. The actual closet. You're gonna see there's an A&M. There's an A&M cover that has like a hole in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why did you shoot it into a pillow?
Like I saw that on movies. I thought that like stops the bullet. So like that's what I did.
Okay. You weren't worried about your parents hearing the gun go off?
They weren't home.
Oh. Okay. Well, let me tell you something interesting tonight. This is something else that you said that you kind of told on yourself a little bit. Because you said when you were playing with the gun 2 or 3 weeks ago, whenever it was, which originally was with your friend, and now it's not with your friend.
No, he was there. Like we had the conversation.
But not when you fired the gun.
Yeah, he wasn't there. He wasn't there when I fired the gun.
So, which basically, okay, we won't even get into that yet. But so basically, what you just told me was that you shot into a pillow because you've seen it on movies, and it stops the bullet or whatever, or it quiets the bullet. Is what they use it for in movies. Kind of weird, man. Both your parents tonight had pillows over their head before they were shot. See what I'm saying?
Okay. Well,
you see how like stuff keeps adding up here?
Okay, like that like my dad sleep. You can ask anyone who has ever been in a room. My dad, his entire 42 years of living, he sleeps with a pillow right over his eyes with just his nose and mouth out. And my mom, she sleeps with a pillow right here. She sleeps with a pillow right here, and it folds over her head, and she can see clearly out. I know how my parents sleep. I know exactly how.
The pillow wasn't folded over your mom's head.
Oh, wasn't it?
No.
Well, that's what she normally.
But do you see how convenient that is? You see what I'm saying? And every time I present you with something, you're trying to explain it away in a way to make it seem like we're making connections here, Antonio, and that's the problem. Why do we have? I mean, you're explaining away around that you shot through the floor 2 or 3 weeks ago when we've got fresh sheetrock on the ground and we've got a round still laying on the ground. I mean, your parents use that room constantly. They're going to notice. If your dad's going to notice the burn on the carpet, he's going to notice.
That's why I'm saying it doesn't make sense, because it wasn't in this past. I'm pretty sure it wasn't in the past week. If it wasn't this week, then it was last week. And I've told you guys everything. Like, I mean, y'all, like all the tests you guys run.
I know.
Like, we'll come back with it has nothing to do with me. And I don't know, like, what else I need to say. I know it doesn't look good. I don't know what else I need to say to, like, let you guys know that I didn't do – I had nothing to do with
Antonio. Yeah, Antonio, ultimately, if you said, hey, I had nothing to do with it, but hey, my buddy was over, or this is what happened. Now, then, okay, well, what happened? Well, he came over, this happened. I got scared and let him out the house. But, we want to know who this is so we can talk to him because we want to know what happened. If that was a conversation, then we would have answers to our inconsistencies.
Yeah.
But having no way, I mean, I can't emphasize, look, I'm a parent, I'm a dad. My daughter's a day younger than you.
Yeah.
Okay. So literally a day, 1 day. Okay. So I know how things are and I know how things could be. So ultimately, if something is impossible, I have to figure out, or we have to figure out how is it possible. And right now we don't have a possible because the entire house is locked up.
I don't know. Like I don't know how to explain it because I know it has nothing to do with me. It may be someone else. But I know it has absolutely nothing to do with me.
But how does that person get out of the house?
I don't know. Like why? I'm not saying you, but like I don't know why everyone is assuming that I'm the person that let them in and let them out, and like I had something to do because I'm the only person that was up that I automatically.
No, you have to understand. I told you there's two scenarios.
Yeah, I understand.
There's two scenarios,
but I had nothing to do with it.
Well, there's three. There's three scenarios. One scenario is two scenarios. But one has a double to it. The one scenario is there was somebody in the house, and it was either you or your sister. Okay, those are the only two people that could have done that in the house and laid everything out and did everything to where there would be no escape, which we don't have a way somebody left. The other option is somebody let somebody in. And who are the only two people that can let somebody in or out? It's you. Your sister's asleep. So if it wasn't you, it was your sister. So again, if we got to sit down with your sister, bring her in and talk to her the way we're talking to you, because it had to be one of those scenarios. There's no other scenario. It's not like you're telling me something that helps explain something. You're not giving me anything to explain. And you have to understand, Antonio, you have to understand.
I'm trying to tell you that this has absolutely nothing. I would never try and kill my parents or get someone to kill my parents. This has nothing to do with
Antonio.
me.
Okay.
Now, I think my phone is a little bit delayed to computer, but why would he, for the second time, say, I didn't try to delete my parents, and I wasn't trying to get anybody to delete my parents? Why would that just, I don't know. It's crazy he was able to get hung juries when it's obvious. Yeah, it's so obvious. I don't think he did a really good job of concealing it. What I can say is he probably played his emotions up in court. Maybe he was able to present himself in a way to the people in court that he gained some sympathy. But from his words, his testimony, his interrogation, there's nothing innocent about anything he's saying. He literally is. There's no way. And we're going to go into some psychological review. Dr. Todd Grande talks about this case and how he names him a clumsy teenager. Because I truly don't, I don't think this kid was super bright. I do think the kid was very sociable. And I hate to throw this out there, but there are some narcs who are incredibly sociable. And so that can be mistaken as, having social skills, being empathetic, sympathetic, and all that. No, but they can mirror and mimic emotions very well. And I think he probably did a really good job at that, especially, I remember seeing footage of him, holding his 1-year-old or whatever and, playing with it. And I'm just like, why am I watching this kid who clearly deleted his parents playing with a baby? It just seems so outlandish, but it was all part of the image that he was building for the jurors in those first two juries. I don't know what they saw, but they definitely were manipulated by his persona. The third time, I think it was done at that point. They were gonna prosecute him no matter what. But he was definitely able to trick a few juries. So He probably thought he was going to get away with it.
When you called 911, you were very calm on the phone. Your parents had both been shot, and you're very calm on the phone. That's not normal. That's not a normal scenario.
Not been, like, you can ask the police that have been, like, I'm just like.
Now, I'll say, if he did have something undiagnosed, like some type of spectrum, you know, like, and this is not me trying to, like, no, like, it's very possible, then he could have just not been displaying emotions. But I think, like, what the problem with him was, it wasn't just like not displaying emotions. It was also coupled with the fact that, like, he couldn't have not been involved. Like, he had to have let somebody in and out for there to be no evidence, no fingerprints, like no forced entry, like all of that would include somebody within the home being involved in the case. And he was just so, like, fidgety about the whole, like, his role in it. He talked about his sister being asleep and the whole calling 911, whispering in the closet, and then waiting for them to get there. I believe that was theatrics. I think he set that up so that they could see him as part of the victims of this case, right? If he deletes his parents and then goes and hides in a closet and acts like an intruder's in the home, people are gonna view him as a victim too, right? Because he's hiding, he's scared for his life. He saw he saw a thief, but he also didn't really see them at all enough to identify them in a a lineup or anything like that. So I just think he was building, like from the beginning of this, his lawyer did a good job of trying to build an image for him and portray him a certain way, especially involving his kid, his newfound child that he had in the middle of all this. So we're going to listen to a few more minutes, and then we're going to go into Dr. Todd Grande's video. And then, just to end off nice and sweet, we're going to watch him in a more recent interview where he was in jail and he was, trying to plead for his innocence and just plead his whole case and everything. So we'll watch a little bit of each of those, a few more minutes of this, and then we're going to move to Dr. Todd Grande.
I was crying, but my brother calmed me down, and I was bawling, crying, coming out of the house.
I understand that. I'm talking about when you called 911 when this incident happened. I'm not talking about down afterwards, several minutes after your brother showed up.
So I didn't really know what happened. I didn't know if, like, they were actually dead. I didn't know if, like, I genuinely just didn't know what happened. And, like, I've tried to, like, explain that I had nothing to do with this, and I guess I'm just gonna have to wait till, like, all the tests come back to prove that I had nothing to do with this.
But you knew something bad happened.
Yeah, but I had nothing to do with it. And I guess, like, when all the tests are gonna have to come back and prove that AJ had nothing to do with this, and, like, that's how it's gonna go. Because, like, clearly my story isn't matching up with what was shown. So we're just gonna have to wait till till everything comes back to show that I didn't do it.
It's not even so much the tests. Because the thing is, it's not even so much the test.
Okay, so what happens when the tests come back and I had nothing to do with it?
But it's not just the test.
No, I'm just asking. No, what happens then?
The tests don't answer all the questions.
But when you figure out I don't have gunpowder residue on my hand,
what if you had gloves on? What I'm telling you is the tests can help us, and they cannot help us. But ultimately, we have issues that we can't get around. Like it's like saying that I got to go downtown and it's 30 minutes away, but I get there in 5 minutes. How is that possible? Well, I just got there in 5 minutes. Well, how is that possible? I just got there in 5 minutes. Now, if you say, well, I caught a helicopter and I flew there and I got dropped off and it took 5 minutes. Okay, well, that makes sense. Where's the helicopter? Here's the helicopter. I'm talking to the helicopter. Yeah, we picked him up. We dropped him off. Took 5 minutes. Okay, great. But when we call a helicopter and they're like, we don't do that. Or there's no way that you got there in 5 minutes. There's possible and there's impossible. You understand? And that's where I have a feeling that you have a guard up where you have to understand this.
Oh, sorry, wrong one. So we're gonna leave that there. We're gonna look into Dr. Todd Grande's video. Now he addresses what he thinks was a manipulation of juries that got Antonio Armstrong Jr. off the first 2 times. So you guys heard that. You guys let me know you guys' conclusions about him. To me, I personally don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth. I personally think that he just sort of sounds, everything that he's saying is to conceal his possible involvement in things, I think. Just sort of what he says, the phone call to the police, the theatrics when they get there of him running out with his sister coming out of the closet like a hostage survivor or something. I think it was all part of the like ingratiating himself in the crime scene. So, okay, we're gonna hear Dr. Todd Grande's perspective. For any of you who haven't watched him before, I think Dr. Todd Grande is he has extremely dry humor, and he's extremely objective. So he'll show you the evidence and be like, here's the evidence. And then he'll be like sarcastically like, oh no, this can't possibly be exactly what it looks like. So anyways, I find him to be very funny and clever, but he breaks down why he thinks these juries found him, didn't find him guilty or not guilty. They simply were hung because of his ability to manipulate. So
this is Dr. Grande. Today's question is, can I analyze the case of A.J. Armstrong? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I will put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the crime, then offer my analysis. Antonio Armstrong Jr. was born on March 23, 2000 in Houston, Texas. He went by the name AJ. His father, Antonio Sr., and his mother, Dawn, owned a chain of smoothie shops and a fitness business. Prior to this, Antonio Sr. had briefly played professional football for the NFL, but could not find success. He went to the Canadian Football League, where an ankle injury ended his career. AJ had a sister named Kara and a half-brother named Josh. His sister lived with him and his parents, while his half-brother lived in an apartment within walking distance of the Armstrong family residence. By the time AJ was 16, he was using marijuana and performing poorly in school. As a result, his parents delivered a series of punishments, including removing him from a prestigious private school and sending him to public school, taking away a Ford Mustang that AJ had been allowed to use and giving it to his half-brother, and restricting AJ from seeing his girlfriend. Now moving to the timeline of the crime. On July 29, 2016, at 1:40 a.m., AJ called 911 and claimed that he had heard gunshots from his parents' bedroom on the second floor. He was hiding in the closet of his third-floor bedroom out of fear. AJ's 12-year-old sister, Kara, was in the house. After a few minutes, AJ went to her bedroom on the second floor, and they both walked down to the first floor. 16 minutes into the 911 call, the police arrived. AJ disarmed the security system and answered the front door. Here's what the police found during the course of their investigation.
So when the police came, he disarmed the security system and let the police in. It was highly unlikely that anybody else was like, he would have had to open the door. And this is what modern technology does, right? It provides assurances. Nobody stepped foot in that house at all. There's no record. I believe the security company has no record of doors or locks being unlocked or anything. Completely sealed. No movement. So it had to happen in the house. This is what he didn't think through. Let's continue though.
While they were in bed, AJ's parents had been shot with a .22 caliber semi-automatic pistol, which was owned by AJ's father. AJ's mother was shot twice in the head and did not survive. AJ's father was shot one time in the head. He was alive when the police arrived, but died shortly after being transported to a hospital. Both of AJ's parents had pillows placed over their heads after they were shot. There was no forced entry into the house, and nothing appeared to be missing. On the first floor, several kitchen drawers were pulled open. There was a note on the kitchen counter which read, quote, "I have been watching for a long time. Come get me," unquote. Right next to the note was a .22 caliber semi-automatic pistol.
I have been watching for a long time. Come get me. It's like he just watched Freddy versus Jason or something. It was like, let me write a tantalizing note, to make them think there's some serial deleter out here or something. But, I mean, come on.
It was the murder weapon. There was no DNA, blood, or fingerprints on the firearm, the note, the notepad, or the pen used to write the note. No gloves were found at the crime scene. In AJ's bedroom, there was a hole in the floor, which had clearly been created by a .22 caliber firearm. It appeared as though someone discharged the gun into a pillow and a blanket while pointing it at the floor. The bullet traveled into a study on the second floor, which was right outside the bedroom of AJ's parents. There was a pile of socks over the hole, as if somebody wanted to conceal it. The carpet at the top of the second floor staircase had a burn mark on it. It appeared as though gasoline had been used in the fire. The police took AJ into custody. They did not see any blood on him, and a gunshot residue test came back negative. AJ unwisely decided to talk to the police. Here is the story that he supplied them. On July 28, AJ and his sister arrived home at about 9 or 10 p.m., and the alarm was set. AJ watched Netflix for a while as his parents were in their bedroom. At around 1 a.m., now on July 29, AJ went to the bathroom. During this trip, he heard a door open. He thought it was his parents. AJ had not been feeling well, so he started to walk downstairs to ask them for medicine. At this point, he heard gunshots and saw an intruder wearing a mask running in the house. He described the intruder as a black man who was 6 feet tall. This was the first time AJ had mentioned an intruder, even though he had spent 16 minutes on the phone with the 911 operator. The police asked AJ if he had ever handled the .22 caliber pistol that was used to shoot his parents. He said that he had fired it several years ago, but had not touched it recently. When confronted,
So I like Dr. Todd Grande because he's not a lawyer. He's actually a psychologist. So a lot of the times what he's coming from, his perspective is coming from that of a practitioner who has experience with a lot of personality types and things like that. And so, he does say he can't make a diagnosis because you can't diagnose somebody just based off of one interaction. A lot of times when even people in prison and mental health facilities, they're diagnosed after they're engaged and met with a few times. After their medical records have been reviewed, their treatment records, treatment notes, and all of that. So he pretty much is just giving you a base opinion. And I personally think that the perspective of a psychologist is a little bit more valuable because they're able to understand, maybe how somebody's ability to commit things like this and be all calm and straight-faced about it in court and all that. Like, I think he has a better understanding about it. So let's continue.
About the discovery of the hole in the floor in his bedroom, AJ came up with a new story. He said that a few weeks prior to the shootings, he was showing the gun to a friend and pulled the trigger unintentionally. The police were curious about the burn mark at the top of the second floor staircase. AJ explained that he was playing with matches and dropped one there. Despite denying any involvement in the shooting, AJ was arrested and charged with murder. He was eventually released on bond. AJ's trial started on April 2, 2019. The defense tried to create doubt by suggesting that AJ's half-brother, Josh Armstrong, could have committed the murders. He suffered from schizophrenia and was paranoid. Josh had spent time in several different mental health facilities. He had delusions, which included believing that he was God or the devil. He had command hallucinations that told him to harm himself or others, and he told a mental health professional that he witnessed his parents being murdered. The jury was unable to reach a unanimous decision. They deadlocked 8-4 in favor of a guilty verdict. A mistrial was declared. AJ's second trial started on October 3, 2022. A mistrial was declared on October 26. This time, the jury deadlocked 8-4 in favor of a not guilty verdict. On July 31, 2023, AJ's third trial started. This time, the state introduced new and surprising evidence. Law enforcement claimed that they found specks of blood underneath an adhesive visitor's badge, which was placed on AJ's shirt in the police station right after the shooting. The DNA in the blood was matched to his father's DNA. On August 16, 2023, Antonio Armstrong Jr. was found guilty of capital murder. His sentence was life in prison with the possibility of parole after 40 years. He will be 63 years old when he becomes eligible for release. Now moving to my analysis. A.J. Armstrong maintains his innocence, and he has many supporters, including several of his family members. They argue that a mysterious intruder must have killed A.J.'s parents. The state, of course, disagrees. They believe it was painfully obvious the entire time that A.J. was the killer, and there was no good reason for 2 mistrials. This brings me to the question, was A.J. guilty of murder? Let's take a look at the evidence both for and against the idea that he was guilty, starting with the inculpatory factors. In the time leading up to the murders, A.J. was using marijuana and performing poorly in school. He had endured a string of punishments from his parents, including being pulled out of a private school, losing his vehicle, and not being able to see his girlfriend. Text messages from his mother, Dawn, revealed that she believed he was a deceptive individual. During the interview with the police, A.J. painted his mother in a negative light, even though she had just been murdered. Evidence at the crime scene indicated that A.J.'s mother was the first one who was shot. It is unlikely that an intruder would have put pillows over the victims' heads after shooting them. There was no forced entry into the house, and all the doors and windows were locked. The murder weapon was a gun owned by A.J.'s father. Even if an intruder could have made entry into the house undetected, how would they have accessed the weapon, and why would they do that? A.J. was extremely calm on the 911 call and never mentioned seeing an intruder despite being on the phone for 16 minutes. He only introduced the intruder story during the police interview. The Armstrong family house was equipped with an alarm system featuring motion detectors on the first floor and the second floor. By looking at the data from the system and from A.J.'s phone, it seems clear that A.J. was moving around the house at the time of the shooting. For example, at 1:08 a.m., A.J.'s phone was unplugged. At 1:09 a.m., movement was detected by the second floor motion detector. At 1:25 a.m., the first floor motion detector detected movement. The murder weapon and the note were found on the first floor. This was 15 minutes before A.J. called 911. A.J. went to his sister's bedroom while on the phone with the 911 operator. He had to walk past his parents' bedroom to get there, yet he never checked on his parents. A.J. admitted that he shot a hole through his bedroom floor with the murder weapon, although he denied doing so on purpose. The bullet traveled through a pillow and a blanket before striking the floor, which seems unusual for an accidental shooting. Did A.J. have some type of grudge against the pillow? I suppose A.J. would have prevailed during any pillow fight. It seems clear that A.J. was trying to muffle the gunshot. His behavior is consistent with premeditation. 2 days before the murder, A.J. started a fire in his house, probably by using gasoline. In addition to firing the gun in his bedroom and setting a fire, A.J. searched the internet for how to build a car bomb. Either he wanted to murder a driving pillow, or he was trying to find a way to kill his parents. Although it was years later, the police found blood belonging to A.J.'s father on the shirt A.J. was wearing the night of the shooting. As far as the defense theory that Josh Armstrong could have been the real killer, he was with his girlfriend and his cousin at the time of the shooting. Josh was ruled out as a suspect by the police. Whatever mental health problems that Josh may or may not have had were irrelevant because his alibi was confirmed. Moving to the exculpatory factors, even though A.J. had behaved...
Now you see how folks, especially undiagnosed folks, will try to use that mental illness history, treatment, and all that against somebody. His brother absolutely utilized that. He thought, oh, I can pin this on my crazy brother. Right, my brother's a schizo, He did it, not me. But again, I don't even want to get into what that would mean. Like what a crime scene of somebody in that state would look like. It would not be wiped clean. Like there was literally zero evidence. That's the evidence that somebody cleaned. So I just can't. I don't consider family and friends saying you were with them a solid alibi. I mean, I get that. I definitely do. But it's just all of it is just really horrible. I don't know.
Behavioral problems and argued with his parents, these behaviors are common for teenagers. As far as there being no forced entry into the house, the alarm system was improperly installed and did not function correctly. It is possible that an intruder was in the house before the alarm was set. This would also explain how the intruder had time to retrieve the pistol owned by AJ's father. No blood was observed on AJ, and none was found even after the police conducted extensive testing on his clothing not long after the shooting. The police only found specks of blood belonging to his father 7 years later, after 2 mistrials and right as the third trial was starting. This seems incredibly convenient for the police. No physical evidence connected AJ to the murder or to the note. Less than 2 weeks after the murders, 2 intruders wearing masks broke into one of the gyms owned by AJ's parents. They appeared to be looking for something specific and only took a computer, despite other valuables being in plain sight. They were never identified or arrested. When considering all the evidence, do I believe that AJ was guilty? Yes, I believe he was guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. When I weighed the evidence, I dismissed the mysterious and incredibly convenient discovery of the blood under the sticker on AJ's shirt. Even without that evidence, I believe he was guilty. There should have never been mistrials in this case. Some of the members of the jury for the third trial indicated that they also dismissed the blood evidence completely. They found AJ guilty because he shot a hole in the floor and set a fire before the murders and lied repeatedly after the murders. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. AJ was intelligent and articulate, but possessed a few worrisome traits including impulsivity, irresponsibility, recklessness, vindictiveness, arrogance, a sense of entitlement, and a lack of empathy. He became angry with his parents because they restricted his freedom and decided that killing them would be an appropriate solution. He was cold and callous. AJ believed that he was more intelligent than everyone else and could easily manipulate people. The problem is, he failed to appreciate his own lack of empathy. AJ could not understand how people perceived him. He carried out a clumsy and obvious crime, which should have led directly to a conviction, yet somehow he was able to stall the inevitable. The lack of physical evidence tying him to the crime worked strongly in his favor. When AJ was out on bail, he married his girlfriend and had a son, further demonstrating his overconfidence and arrogance. He was trying to live as if prison was not in his future, and perhaps deceived other people into believing the same thing. Ultimately, AJ was convicted, but still remained overconfident. He believes that he will win his appeal and be set free. This is yet another in a series of fantastical creations by AJ, like the invisible intruder who killed his parents. Now moving to my final thoughts. AJ's parents had a security system installed to protect the house and hold any criminal in the house responsible. Ultimately, only the latter was realized as a benefit. This case is a testament to the effectiveness of betrayal. The killer had easy access to the victims, and they probably had no idea what he was planning. Some murder cases come with a mystery, like people may wonder who committed the crime. In this case, the mystery was why anyone believed that AJ was not guilty. AJ was completely ineffective and inept as a criminal, but manipulative and endearing as a defendant. Fortunately, the state did not succumb to the pressure of all the people who believed that.
Okay, so obviously we know how he feels about this case. What was the motive? Again, he had a sense of entitlement. You know, his freedoms and things were restricted. His parents were holding him accountable for All right. Sorry, guys. For some reason, it said browser lost connection with my screen share audio. So I'm going to play this. All right. So you guys have your opinions probably by now about Mr. Armstrong Jr. But we are going to listen to his jailhouse interview as much as I can get through because I am exhausted. I have to go to sleep, I'm an old lady. By now, I'm already ready for bed. So we're going to listen to as much of it as I can get through. He was 16 when this all happened. Just so you know, dog-faced pony soldier. Interesting name. But he was 16 when this all happened. But he didn't get married or have a child until way after, until he was out on bail. So let's hear his jailhouse interview, and you guys can pretty much sum up your final thoughts. What do you feel about Antonio Armstrong Jr.? Do you guys think he's innocent? Do you think his story about an intruder is real? Do you think they were able to slip out into the night without leaving a shred of evidence? You think that all of the clues that we have seen don't matter because, he loved his family? Is the person that he married the same girlfriend that his parents restricted him from seeing? That I don't know. Maybe. I think maybe we would have to look into it a little bit more. I'm not sure about that. But I know he had a lot of things restricted. His parents pretty much took his money away and everything he had, his car, private school, and we're like, yeah, we'll go rough it out in public school if you're a big tough guy. And that's a tough lesson for an entitled kid, but doesn't mean delete your parents. So let's look at the first question. The first question is savage, but let's get into it. We're going to we're going to perceive. We're gonna get a look. We're gonna take a look into his personality. Do you guys think he's capable of what he's been accused of?
Considering the circumstances, as good as I can be, but I'm doing well.
How have things been here in the last few weeks?
It's been definitely an adjustment. Coming to a new facility, moving again, and all that. Getting, comfortable as possible here, meeting new people, and finally moving to population and not being isolated like I have been pretty much this whole time. So it's just been another adjustment, but it's going well so far.
How was that, the just kind of being by yourself until you're moved in, Gen Pop?
Honestly, even from juvenile days till now, I've always been in a cell for practically 23 hours a day, really 24 hours a day. So being by myself is something I've kind of become used to. It doesn't really bother me, but getting a cellie for the first time and that whole experience, it was a little nerve-wracking at first because you have no idea what to expect, but God put me in a good situation, good guy, so things are going well.
Why did you want to talk to us today?
I just feel like it's important for me to finally be able to really speak, for the last 7 years with us being in trial and stuff like that and fighting the case, my attorneys felt it was best for me not to really speak out. So I went with their lead, and now where we're at, I felt it was time for me to be able to speak my truth.
So let's talk about that, your truth. There's been 3 trials. Mm-hmm. The first 2 are hung juries. The most recent third one, you were convicted for killing both of your parents.
Yes, sir.
The questions everyone want to know is, why did you kill your parents?
I didn't kill my parents. I would say falsely convicted, because I don't believe the conviction that took place was the result that should have happened. It should have been either another hung jury or not.
Well, I'm going to give him his respect for pretty much saying, we all want to know, why did you do it? Why did you do it? It's common knowledge that you did it. Why did you do it? Thank you so much, Valerie, for the $4.99 super chat. She said, hello, Flora. This is the first time I've seen your show. Thank you so much for your generous donation. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone popping in. Dogface Pony Soldier. Okay, this is what I was looking for. He said, what did his parents do for a living? His father was an NFL player. Very short-lived career, they say. But he took that success and he built a gym and some smoothie businesses. So, he found a way to make a living. And I guess that was his popularity in things. And his mom obviously just worked the businesses with his dad as well. So I don't know. Let's look a little bit more into how he's speaking. I think
I'm guilty.
he doesn't sound believable, but let's continue.
Verdict. There's no way ever I would have in a million years imagined being here, but here I am. And, it's just about taking it one day at a time. The appeal process can be a slow process, but at the end of the day, I know I'm going to walk out of here. This isn't how my story ends. This isn't how things go for me. It's just continuing to keep my trust in God regardless of what comes my way. But yeah, absolutely not. It's a false conviction.
Then if it's not you, then who?
I can't give you that answer. If I knew that answer, I wouldn't be in here. If my family knew that answer, we would have given that over to the authorities as quick as possible. But it's just due to their lack of investigation and them not pursuing anything outside of me from that night, like they've said on the stand, it's put us in a situation to where we don't have anything. And we're probably going to have to live the rest of our lives not knowing what happened to my parents. And that's unfortunate, but it's the situation the Houston Police Department and the DA's office has put us in.
Talk to me.
Now, notice he's looking away. Hold on, these split frames aren't that good. Okay, look.
I can't give you that answer. If I knew that answer, I wouldn't be in here. If my family knew.
Damn, it's literally like a split second. Hold on.
I can't give you that answer. If I knew that answer.
He looks down. He doesn't look directly at him when he's saying that. There's something about eye contact that tells a picture about if somebody's telling the truth or lying. But
I wouldn't be in here.
Pay
If
attention.
my family knew that answer, we would have given that over to the authorities.
He looked up and to the right. Hold on.
Who?
I can't give you that answer. If I knew that answer, I wouldn't be in here. If my family knew that answer, we would have given that over to the authorities as quick as possible. But it's just due to their lack of investigation and them not pursuing anything outside of me from that night, like they've said on the stand, it's put us in a situation to where we don't have anything. And we're probably going to have to live the rest of our lives not knowing what happened to my parents. And that's unfortunate, but it's the situation the Houston Police Department and the DA's office has put us in.
Talk to me about how was it for you during these last 3 trials, just sitting and listening to everything?
I wouldn't wish it on anybody. It's horrible to have to sit there and hear the things that I had to listen to be able to have really me and my parents' relationship dissected and broken down in a way that the DA felt it was, when in reality it wasn't like that. Sure, my parents got on me. Everyone read the text messages. Everyone saw what was being said. But at the end of the day, my parents loved me and I loved them more than anything. That was the relationship they had. They were strict on me. They knew the potential that I had. They knew where I could go in my life, and that's how they were. But it was never anything more than that. So having to sit there and especially listen to the DA, try and say they're speaking for my parents or they're doing what my parents would have wanted, and just things like that I just felt was really out of place and just disrespectful to my grandparents in general, because those were their kids and they're sitting in court. And we all know if either one of my parents would have made it, or if both of my parents would have made it, this would have never been a situation we would have been in. They would have made it very clear that they didn't believe in what the DA was trying to do, and what they were trying to say about our relationship just wasn't true.
You mentioned the part when the prosecutor said that they were speaking through your mom specifically. How did that make you feel?
Very frustrated, because it's just, like I said, it was really disrespectful. My grandparents are sitting right there, and to say that you're speaking for their daughter and their daughter-in-law when you don't know, you never knew their daughter or daughter-in-law, you're just reading text messages and assuming, hey, this fits our narrative. So let's say Dawn felt this way, when in actuality, Dawn didn't feel that way. My mom was hard on me. She was hard on my sister. She was hard on my brother. She was hard on everyone. That's just how my mom was. But
My mom was hard on me. She was hard on my sisters. She was hard on everyone. He's not even realizing subconsciously how he's indicating a discomfort for his mom and the boundaries that she tried to set. Right? Like he's making it seem very like, oh, I loved and I accept this about her. No, because you're describing her as hard on you unnecessarily. That's kind of what it sounds like. You know, like she was just the bad guy. It just doesn't seem like something you say once you would say like, oh, she has a good heart, like, oh, she meant well. You wouldn't be saying she was hard on everyone. Like, it's subconsciously, it's a way of him taking a dig at her and how she parented.
she loved even bigger, and that never changed just because I was doing things I shouldn't have. So just to have that narrative push that my mom felt that way about me or anything like that, it was hard.
Talk to us about your relationship with your parents.
I mean, I felt like I had a great relationship with my parents. Despite, I was a 16-year-old kid. I snuck out to be with my girlfriend, who's now my wife. I was smoking weed.
Who asked? Jonesy, didn't you ask if the girl that he married is the girl that he was getting in trouble for? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. He basically just confirmed that.
I was getting bad grades. Like I wasn't doing well in school my sophomore year, but at the end of the day, it was still a normal relationship. I was with my dad all the time, going to the gym, working out 5 days a week. We still laughed. We still joked. We did things. We had family events. Like everything was normal. I just made some goofy kid mistakes at that age, and it was taken and blown into something that it really wasn't. And, it's hard to look back because after going through those 3 trials and hearing all the things that they've said, it's kind of just caused my mind to almost kind of forget some of the good things because it's been pushed on me nothing but negative. And it sucks. It really does. But at the end of the day, I know how my parents felt about me and I know how I felt about them. And that's what I just choose to hold on to regardless.
Does looking back at your relationship with your parents change things for you now because you're a father yourself with your own son?
Definitely. I told my family all the time, like with having Hendrix for just 2 years, now he's 3, it's like, I see so much of understanding what parenting is like from my parents' perspective. I see how the things my dad tried to instill in me at a very young age, why it was so important. And I see a lot of myself in my son. So it's like, I can see why my parents were the way they were with me and things like that. But it's being a parent's a blessing. I absolutely love it, and I'm grateful that I had the time with my parents and they were the great parents that they were, and they instilled so much in me in those 16 years that I feel like I've prepared to be a father even at a young age. But, it's just.
He doesn't have an ounce of emotion. Like, if anything, his facial expressions are trying to mimic, like empathy and sympathy and grief or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, he just doesn't he seems very robotic. He's just kind of looking around the room. He's doing like the thing where you give like very minimal eye contact and then like sort of the rest you're like scanning the room, right? You're like on like a, like you're looking, but then you every now and then you're like, it's coming across really inauthentic. And I think that's the thing. When he first was arrested, or when they first even questioned him, like right after things happened, it was the same thing, flat affect. No, you can't penetrate whatever wall it is that he has up. Like, look at how like coldly into the distance he's staring right past the interviewer. Like, zero emotion. I'm just, from my perspective, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a criminologist, I can't read body language, none of that. I'm just, from my perspective, he gives a very detached person. Very detached. He did it. His brother was the only one that broke down. Found guilty of something, but says he's innocent. Well, Antonio Armstrong Jr., there's a lot to his case, so I'm not going to try and break it down, but there's a lot to his case. And he's pretty much trying to plead his case, but right now, like, I'm getting zero emotion. He's making me sleepy. So, I'm probably going to have to go soon, guys, because I'm exhausted. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, though. We're going to watch a little bit more of this, and then I'm going to have to send you guys off because I got to be up at the ass crack of dawn, just like I like it. And I'll send you guys out. But we're going to watch a little bit more, and then you guys could let me know in the chat. Do you guys think that that he's displaying any sort of normal emotions? I don't see much. I think he's trying to mask whatever hatred he has for his parents. And that's taken up a lot of his emotion.
I definitely see why my parents were the way they were, but I'm grateful for it,
When's the last time you saw Kate, like face to face here?
The last time we were face to face would have been probably about somewhere early September, something like that. So it's been a while.
While you were still in Harris County?
Yes, that was while I was still in Harris County. She came every Wednesday and Saturday to come see me while I was there. So since I moved, I haven't seen anyone except, I got to see Brandon, but outside of that, I haven't seen her or my grandparents. I told them it's a far drive out here. And then flights and things like that, they can be expensive. So I was like, you guys just hold off. We'll figure this out. And hopefully we can get me moved back closer. So we'll see how that plays out.
Let's go back to the day you were convicted.
Mm-hmm.
What was going through your mind once you heard that the jurors rang that bell, that they either had a question or they're ready for verdict? What were you and the team of attorneys talking about in your family?
I knew they had a verdict. So once that bell was rang, I knew the verdict that came in because I believe they said they rang it twice and that meant they had a verdict. So I went in there and I was with JL and she kind of let me know that it was a verdict. She heard the two bells. So for me, it was just a matter of, I was excited, honestly. I was like, we finally are at a place. We've got a jury that has heard all the evidence and they see the truth. And I was believing that was my chance to finally be done with all of this, to not have to ever be in a courtroom again, have to ever sit through another trial, or have to worry about with another hung jury, with the DA come back 5 years later or 10 years later and try and charge me again. I just felt that I was finally at that point of being able to move on with my life. But it was also nerve-wracking because there's also the flip side to it, which is what we ended up getting. And, it was a whole bunch of emotions, but there was a little bit of excitement there, hoping that it was that time to be able to finally move on with my life.
Do you recall hearing Kate's or any of your family members after the verdict came down?
Hearing them? I turned around immediately when I was walking out to look at her because I just wanted her to know it's going to be okay. Like, I love you. And I wanted them to see me be strong right in that moment because I knew that what was coming, it was going to be tough, but I wanted them to know that I'm going to be okay, that we're going to get through this. We're going to figure it out. I'm going to be okay. And that's what I tried to do. But I could see everyone as they walked out, and it was obviously emotional, and it was emotional back there for me and my attorneys. We really are family. You know, I've been with Rick and Chris for 7 years. I've known Chris for as long as I can remember. And JL came in right before the first trial, and she's been amazing.
So now he sounds like a TV announcer. He's making me extremely tired. Like I don't find him compelling. I don't believe anything he's saying at all, not even remotely. So you guys take that how you will. I'm gonna tell you guys my opinion now. You probably know it by now. But I think he deleted his parents. I think he did it in a fit of rage, but in a calculated and cold way. I do believe that there wasn't a lot of physical evidence outside of the absence of evidence, and I guess that's evidence in some ways. So a lot of this was left up for like, okay, the things that are missing, right? Now the shot in the floor, could he have let out a warning shot and that's what upset his parents? I just don't see all of that going down without some upset from his parents that would have caused a conflict that would have woken maybe the sister up. I just don't know. There's just so many, like it comes across so calculated by him. You know, like almost like he's the type of person that you could assume he gave the sister like extra melatonin so she wouldn't like hear them scuffling that night. Like I have no, and by scuffle I mean like, you know, the warning shot woke them up and then he went down there and finished the job. Like I can't get a read on him. He comes across to have very dark energy, I think. Like there's nothing behind his eyes. Like he's talking right now, like he's announcing all the people who he's been working with for 7 years and they're like family, and it's like, no, dude, they're trying to win their case. They need billable hours. You know, you're the psychotic narc who really believes that somebody's gonna believe that you shot through your floor into their bedroom, you know, and pretty much got a shot in, not to them, but like to their space, which means like you could have very well done it from your room. Or you were even thinking about that. It's up for you guys to interpret. I think he's guilty of sin. All right, so I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a great evening. I've really been enjoying doing a mashup with these, like this investigation stuff on the side. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you can hit the like button for me on your way out, on your way in, whatever you're doing right now, if you're catching the playback, I would greatly appreciate it. All right. How long ago did this happen? He was 16. I'm about 4 years older than him, and I'm 29 right now. So I think it's been about 7 or 8 years. It's only been last year that he was actually convicted. There was all those trials, mistrials, and hung juries, you know, in the early 2020s, 2019. He just got convicted last year. Technically 2 years ago now, but we're in early 2025. So, yeah. All right. Well, you guys have a good night. All right. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.